I hit the button wrong.
Buttons are hard.
All right, hey, welcome to Crippled System, episode 217. Not a prime number, because we figured that out beforehand.
Yeah, 31 times 7.
Yep. I didn't think of that. I was just...
Yeah, in retrospect, it's obvious, because 21 is divisible by 7, and then the leftover 7 in the ones place is also divisible by 7, and that's, you know.
When I was driving home from last night after running the tournament, I was sitting there trying to divide it by 3, and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. It's not... So then I was like, oh, it might be a prime.
That's true, but the definition of prime numbers is not numbers which aren't divisible by 3.
Yeah, I know.
But if that was the definition of prime numbers,
then that'd be good.
You were all over it.
I was pretty good in that. Hey, my name is Andy.
Look, we're broadcasting. I'm watching us on delay. The Buseys just went away.
Yeah.
I'm closing it.
Yours is really on delay because it was actually already going through my laptop.
Yeah, well,
already.
you know, I'm on the Weber nets and using the phone signal, and so there's a wider delay.
Oh.
So you're on the Wi-Fi right next to it, so it doesn't have to go as far. Mine had to go to space.
I'm connected directly to it.
Oh, see, I mean, that's the thing.
Directly to the internet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's how, I mean, you know.
My name is Andy.
My name is Nathan.
And I'm Dave.
Hey.
The end.
Hey. You know, I found out something. So, this fruit punch is amazing.
Popeyes.
Is Tahitian? I think it's Tahitian treat. Is that what it's?
Tahitian treat fruit
Tahitian
punch.
treat,
It says right there.
fruit
Yeah.
punch. Well, I wasn't sure if I always mispronounced it as a kid. I don't
treat.
I know I did not say Tahitian. I know I did not say that. I said like
Tahitian.
Yeah, I had said something weird about it. But I realized that this soda is literally there's not enough of it because I drink it in 2 drinks.
Well, it's 12 ounces like any other can. You just drink it.
Yeah, but if it's
faster.
not carbonated, it's a lot easier to just gulp the whole damn thing.
That one is carbonated.
It is
Oh, it is. Oh.
Yeah.
Tahitian treat is basically carbonated Hawaiian punch.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what sets them apart.
Yeah. But yeah, it just goes down twice.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, good. Lop, lop,
Smooth drinking.
lop,
Yep.
lop. And
Put
that's
some
why-
vodka in there and
That's
boom.
why I brought the Diet Cherry 7-Up here alongside it, because I'm going to drink this in 2 drinks.
That's fair. You're planning ahead.
Yeah.
Yep.
Be prepared. Boy Scout.
Do we have announcements?
Well, sign up is still open and is open through November 30th for the America's Team Championship, which, in case you missed it, we're having a Guildball event piggyback with us as well.
2 Guildball events.
Two, yes. Well, it's an event that has 2 tournaments as part of it. One on Saturday and one on Sunday.
I think they're 2 separate events.
Well, no, it's the America's Team Championship is an event.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a Saturday tournament and a Sunday tournament
Yes.
at this one event.
At this one event.
Which
Yes.
is the America's Team
Okay.
Championship.
I thought you were trying to say that like winners of the first day of Guildball event will go to
No.
the second day. Like,
No.
no, that doesn't. No, they're
The first day is a 3-person team event, and the second day is some kind of 2-person event. I don't Guildball, so it's a bunch of gibberish to me. But the point is, it's cool. It's it's only 70.
you beating up the biscuits?
It was hitting my hand. Fuck off. It's only $75 per person for both days. That pays for both of the tournaments in the Guildball. If you're playing War Machine, it's that same cost, and that covers both days as well. The Guildball event, I know that the people running it are still in conversation with the American WTC committee for Guildball to see if they'll have the same prize that the War Machine thing has, where the winning team automatically gets to be a team for the Guildball World Team Championship.
we are
So,
discussing that.
still waiting on the answer for that. That'll be really cool if that comes back a yes.
So out of curiosity, does Guildball use a 60-minute death clock too?
I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
Kind of. The death clock for Guildball is really kind of interesting. So normally with the War Machine, it's using the hour long. For Guildball, it uses 45 minutes for a death clock, which seems excessive. Oh,
Yeah, go on.
which seems excessive, considering it's only playing with 6 models. But the way the game goes, it does still take up about 2 hours. So there's pauses in there for maintenance phases.
You pause your clock during your maintenance phase? Ah.
That's weird.
And then It's if you do a timeout, basically if you clock out for death clock, it's not an immediate loss. You have to have a judge that comes by, and then they will time you 1 minute for every turn subsequent from that on.
Sure.
And at the end of each one of those turns, your opponent is awarded a victory point.
Okay.
So if it's something like you're about to
Yeah,
throw
if you're
a goal,
about to win, like that could end up not mattering.
correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So it's I only clocked out once in my first tournament with it, so it was interesting.
Yeah.
But no,
Well, yeah, so that's that. And then again, the other big thing with ATC that makes sure that everybody knows is that there is the Solo Masters, and that it will start around after the team event. So people can choose to drop from the team event after round 1 to go into the Solo Masters. The Solo Masters is capped at 32 players, though. Includes day of, so we can't have 60. We can't have 10 teams drop and have 50 people suddenly get shuffled into there. So what we are discussing doing, and I think we all agreed, so I might as well just say this: what we're going to do is we will give the choice to drop in reverse standing order. So the team in last place would get first choice to drop, and then the team in second to last place, and so on.
That's kind of random just for after the first round.
Yeah,
isn't it?
well, it stops somebody who's like... basically, it gives the 0-1s a chance before it gives people who are 1-0 a chance to be goofy.
Okay. Do you think anybody 1-0 is like, yeah, no, screw this?
I know plenty of people who would 1-0 drop and go to Solo Masters because they're wacky people.
Yep.
But the point is, we want the people... Yes. I mean, and yes, so there's tie breaks and stuff, and so it will be kind of a coin flippy thing at the bottom, but it's mainly to make sure that the people who are actually eliminated from the running for the main prize of the team event get first crack at going into the solo thing. See, we got one asshole in the chat already saying he'd 1-0 drop.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's the big things. Solo Masters, the way the drop's going to work. We have the Guildball thing. Guildball may have the same WTC prize that the War Machine tournament has.
If not,
November
it'll have its
30th. November 30th is the sign-up deadline. Last year, we let the Solo Masters sign-up go all the way till day of. Not this year. It is hard capped at the November 30th. So if you have not signed up for one or the other event by November 30th, you are not signed up. So don't delay. Look right away.
What do the signups look like for that already?
They're amazing. It's filling up fast. I don't remember the exact amount, but I've definitely been getting notifications multiple times a day for a while. So it's starting to pick up. I can check and I'll have an answer soon if people fill the dead air time while I do so.
I know Guildball has got some people are already jumping into that as well. That's something that we could do. It depends on when we start that event.
What was the cap on Guildball? Do you remember?
Well, I want to say, damn it, I don't have my phone next to me. I want to say it was 8 teams or something like that.
Right.
It was,
so how does it work? So with the three people, like, because words, the event day 1 and event day 2.
Yep.
That's a 3-person event and a 2-person event.
Mm-hmm.
So the teams will have to like break up for day 2, but people who pay for both days.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Ben is mainly he's the one that's really frontlining it. This would be my first foray into judging for an event, which I easily do. But running specifically for Guildball, it's interesting. I don't know exactly what he has planned for day 2.
Also, the ATC team event will be list registration will be handled by Conflict Chamber. I'm not sure about the Masters event yet.
Probably. I mean, no reason not to. 12 teams so far signed up for the War Machine event. I'm not sure how many people in the Solo Masters, but I know there's been a few of those.
Is there a way that we can go into Conflict Chamber and reassign a player? Oh, I suppose they're probably not going to use their list that they already made for the team event to be in the Solo Masters. I'm just thinking about the people that drop from the from the team event going into Solo Masters. How is that going to be handled through
We'll have something ready on site. I mean,
Yeah.
one of the things I'm working on is that I mean, in addition to the fact that somebody can just take a tablet or a phone or whatever, put it in a list in conflict chamber, and submit it at the site, and then just
Right.
print off the stack when that round starts.
Yeah, because we'll have internet. I mean, so nothing's stopping us, them coming to us and us just typing it right into the website right there. He'll have it open for...
Why did this exist like 4 years or 3 years ago when stupid privateer made War Room?
Because
It would be so much easier is just to just type up your list in War Room, send to TO,
Also,
and then done.
Yeah, one of the features I'm working on that was kind of inspired with talking with the Nova Open people is for the ATC, we should have it set up so that for the Masters registrations, if somebody has a conflict chamber list printed out, it'll have a QR code which you'll be able to scan in and automatically register and validate that list on site.
If you want to make that happen, I believe in you. Preferably have it work in quadnary, though, because binary is just a dead dinosaur of a system. And the only reason it's allowed is because people don't want to step on Bill Gates' toes since he invented binary.
On, off.
No, there's quadnary has on, off, then the wild card dimension, and then a fourth dimension of some kind.
Is it Charlie Day dimension?
I don't know. This was. Did you see the Kickstarter video I posted on my Facebook?
No, I didn't. I don't like Kickstarters that much anymore.
Well,
So
this is a guy's video where he's trying to kickstart the concept of, like, I'm not sure what you were giving him money for, but he was excited because he was going to invent quadnary, which was like binary, but 4 is bigger than 2, so it was better.
So I never read that because, I mean, I actually work in computer science research, so I hear this a lot. And was this actually a joke? Or was the guy for real?
No.
That's
This was
even worse.
real. This was
That's
a real
terrifying.
Kickstarter with a crazy person.
Well,
and his description of it, he was literally like, all those things. He's like, Bill Gates invented binary. And, the way it works is like you have binary to start, and then you have C++, and then you have HTML, like as you work your way up to higher echelons, because that's how programming works. And people
sure it's not
didn't
just
want to
a
mess with the
big-
gravy train of binary by
sure
inventing
this
something
isn't a
else.
joke?
I think this is just an elaborate troll.
No, people believe the Earth is flat.
Well,
So
yeah, okay.
this is no crazier than that.
Okay.
It's just that this is somebody kickstarting something that crazy.
Okay.
It's so worth watching. It's hypnotic.
All right.
And what's great about it is that it's the version I had commentators who is these two guys that, they MST3K style quip over internet videos. They mostly do Let's Plays and make fun of terrible Let's Plays. But one of them had seen this, and the other one is a computer programmer. So the one who saw it made the computer programmer blind watch it, and the man just descends into insanity as he's watching this thing.
I'm not sure if I want to watch this.
Just like, what? No, that's not how any of that works. You can just hear his hair being torn out by the roots.
Yeah, I think it's probably it's an elaborate troll, possibly. I feel I'll have to watch it and just see, but some people make dumb videos like that for the dumb people.
So what are the stretch goals? I've got to know.
I know one of the pledge levels was that you got a pamphlet explaining how it would work. It's like, I want to back it just to see that damn pamphlet.
Is it like $5? I'll back it for $5.
I think it was
for
$10,
that.
but it's
Oh,
gone.
that's-
I mean, this video's from last year. But,
Oh, darn it!
but yeah, no, it's just a crazy person.
We're gonna eat all these Popeye biscuits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the plan.
They're for eating, yes.
You just want me to get fat.
We have any other announcements? War Machine Weekends next weekend.
Yep, War Machine Weekend. It's gonna be a fun time. We got the Patreon.
You don't know that.
It
It could suck.
Aggie's gonna be there.
Oh, it'll be awesome then.
Yeah.
I'm planning on going for the first time. Excited.
Oh, you are going? Awesome.
I'm 75%.
I'm gonna have to bring board games.
You don't have to.
Well, if you and Jim are showing up,
Oh, I'll bring board games.
yeah, but no one wants to play yours.
Okay, fair point. My board games suck. I might see if people will play Mega Civilization this
I
Saturday.
was going to ask about that.
This coming Saturday I have off, and that just occurred to me, and so I might try to get Mega Civ going on.
I was going to ask about that. This coming Saturday I have off, and that just occurred to me, and so I might try to get Mega Civ going on.
This coming Saturday I have off, and that just occurred to me, and so I might try to get Mega Civ going on.
To answer chat, somebody just asked if I just got Popeye.
And the answer is yes.
I just get Popeye biscuits.
Got hippopotamus.
Or did I get chicken as well? No, nope, just Popeye biscuits, and I'm fine because I'm going to eat the whole box.
He almost didn't get those. I come up with the biscuits, and he's like, just biscuits? I'm like, fine, fuck you.
I know when to apologize.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there's not much else coming up real soon that I can think of. You just had an event yesterday, the Champions event.
There's Who's the Boss coming up.
Oh, yeah. That's the charity one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The charity one. It's happening at the Elks Lodge on December 9th. More details coming soon about the proper charity event part of it.
Every time I log into Facebook on my phone, it tries to get me to give it money to make more people know about that event.
Yeah, through Crippled Systems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the problem with having like 4 groups that I like manage or whatever, is that my feed is always just Facebook like, give us money to promote this stuff.
Yeah, I'm always tricked by it too. It's like open up Facebook and it's like, oh, somebody shared my event again. And you're like, nope. Facebook say, give us money to sponsor it.
Yep.
I'm thinking about doing it too, but for this one.
Yeah,
But it's Who's the Boss. It's got every single caster in the stupid game. Not stupid game. I was.
fuck you, Warmahordes.
No, but it has every single freaking caster.
And just be every. You should just say it's just every stupid caster, so we can have like Grail versus Sturgis all day long.
Yes, you could. It will have other things that are not normally advertised for casters available on the wheel. There is. Ooh. Oh, there you go.
Tahitian treat is not magnetic.
No, it is not. But yeah, it's going to be awesome. The group, the folks there are going to be cooking us breakfast. They're going to be cooking us lunch, and they're going to be cooking us dinner.
And the food there was shockingly good, and the booze there is shockingly inexpensive.
Correct. The one thing with the food though, it is not going to be free for food, but they're really cheap.
They're really cheap.
Really
get your
cheap and
money's
really
worth.
good.
This is at the Elks Lodge.
Yeah, where the WITC was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely get your money's worth.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Homemade-
without them fucking up the corn dog costs.
What? Oh, they messed it up.
It was supposed to be one corn dog with a meal, not a pair of corn dogs.
Oh,
That's why it was like $3 for a corn dog, or like $4 for a meal that included 2 corn dogs, and everybody's just buying the meals and throwing their fries away. Yeah, it was supposed to be one corn dog with the meal, but even still, that would have been a hell of a price.
but oh yeah, somebody's asking about Old Witch 2 and 3. We're just gonna have an Old Witch. That's it. We're not. I'm not gonna. I can't afford to buy 2 Old Witches for the wheel and transport them.
Well, you would need, what you should do, though, is have 2 spots.
There's 2
on
spots.
yeah, that way you know whether she's a warcaster or a warlock.
Well, no, that would go by whatever their faction is.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's true.
Yeah. So I could just literally just have Old
Her
Witch 2
spell
and
list
3.
technically is my
It's close enough.
It basically it depends on each one. They're exactly the same. The spell list is the same. The only thing that's different on each of them is Old Witch 3 for Grimkin has got a recursion mechanic built into her, and I can't remember what the effect is on the other Old
But
Witch.
the point is, how do you know which one of those they use?
It depends on their faction.
So if they're a Hordes thing, they would use Witch 3, and if they're War Machine, they'd use Witch 2?
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's my
You're
point,
right.
is which special
Yep,
ability
yep.
do they get?
Well,
So I'm saying you could do 2 slots, and whichever one they roll, that's the special ability they get.
And then-
you can't have another player roll Old Witch.
Yeah,
like,
then-
she's considered off of both spots.
yeah.
Is, one way to make that work. Bleh. What the hell's a Veent?
Event.
Oh, right. Because if you switch the E and the V, it says event.
Yes. So you should probably actually go to just go to the Crippled System page on Facebook, and under events there it'll be listed.
www.facebook.com/crippled system, I'm assuming.
It is that actually.
Yeah! Logic!
We'll actually test it right now.
Oh, speaking of announcements, last week the emails went out for the Malaysia Team Championship, hosted on Conflict Chamber, and so that means that we have now supported events on 4 different continents.
That's half of
I'm
them.
pretty proud of.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
So you got to get the other 4 continents then.
Yeah, we're still missing. Yeah, I would be shocked if we managed to get an event running on Antarctica. But outside of Antarctica, we still need Africa and South America.
Tinder works on Antarctica.
That's disturbing.
Yeah, no, there were these 2 scientists in like neighboring scientific expeditions that met on Tinder.
Wow.
It was like a feel-good story a couple years ago. So yes, Africa, South America, and where and
Antarctica.
oh yeah, that's right. You
Yeah.
mentioned that one.
So we're in the southeast Queensland, in Australia. We've run several in America, in North America. We've run a few in Europe. Recently, the Czech Masters, and then of course the WTC and the Malaysia Team Championship in Asia, and we've got an event coming up in January in Japan as well, if you want to count that too. So we are nearly worldwide. It's pretty awesome.
But not Zealandia, right?
Right.
Okay.
No, if somebody is there and wants to run an event, I'll help you.
If the Mer people of the underwater hidden 8th continent want to
Yeah.
play War Machine,
Yep, we can do that.
I don't think Wi-Fi signals go very well underwater.
doesn't it?
I don't think so.
We'll just get direct cables.
Direct cable probably will work.
Like
just fine.
all those under ocean
Oh, that's
cables
why our
being
internet
run,
goes
yeah,
slow
they can
when it
just-
goes overseas.
Yeah,
'Cause
Wi-Fi.
all the damn Mer people are
Yeah.
stealing it over.
They tap right into that shit.
God damn it!
But yeah, water attenuates Wi-Fi signal really well, so it blocks it out.
They actually have, yeah.
Oh, so if I surround my house with like water, then no one can steal my Wi-Fi?
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 You can actually just cut to the chase and just submerge your modem in water and it just block it at the source.
It also cleans it too. It removes all the dirt
And it keeps it cool.
and the porn.
It keeps the porn cool. Yeah.
It's always nice to have a porn cooling system.
Yes. Don't want to get your porn getting too hot. I mean, actually, that's exactly what you want to have happen, but metaphorically versus literally.
So, I've had nothing else.
Well, the
That's
champion. I just said you ran a champion.
I ran a
event,
championship
and I don't know
event
if
yesterday.
David played in it or
Yeah, I
not.
wasn't able to make it,
Oh, you didn't
unfortunately.
make it. Well, then nobody cares. No, how was your champion event? Everybody get a coin?
Everyone got a coin?
Yeah.
So, interesting story. And, well, do I need to talk about it? Everyone got a championship coin that was donated by
Right. Yeah.
by a wonderful individual.
Okay. How did the event
But
go? Winners, things, factions, interesting matchups.
There was. I actually should publish it, but I haven't actually published it yet. Travis asked me to publish it, but I forgot to do it. And Travis is going to yell at me in chat probably about it.
You son of a bitch.
Oh, and I forgot to even change. Oh, I didn't do anything before this podcast.
Somebody mentioned a Faraday cage in chat, and somebody else asked about the murder mystery. Interestingly enough, my character was named Doc Faraday. It's true. He's a gambler, rightful owner of the Fat Bull Ranch. Not really rightful. I cheated.
What? Why would you cheat?
Yeah. I cheated in a game of cards and won the ranch, and then the judge had to decide whether or not I got to keep the ranch, and so I had to keep the evidence of my cheating away from people. I wasn't the murderer, though. I could have... What's annoying to me is I had the perfect plan to keep the evidence out of hand.
Sure.
Because I knew that one of the 2 cops or the judge had it, and 10 minutes before the announcement, I could have just killed all 3 of them, and before the announcement, death was just a 10-minute sit-down. And so if I just done bang, 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 and just taken all their property, I would have guaranteed that I had the evidence 10 minutes later when the announcement had to happen, who he judged for. And without the evidence, he had to rule in my favor. But instead, I just killed him, and he didn't have it. And I'm like, oh, he doesn't have it. That's okay. But it turns out that at the announcement, he was allowed to ask other people to provide it at that point in time. And so I was not careful enough, and I lost the game.
Oh.
Sadness. I also didn't catch the murderer. It was just not a successful day for me. Had a lot of fun, though. It was a fun party, but I failed at the game aspect of it this year.
Rick doesn't. Rick needs to make this so this is sortable on here. This is not sortable.
The interesting thing about Rick's like websites and stuff for events is that they're terrible. No, they're good. There's a lot of good features there.
So for the event, there was 1 Legion of Everblight, 1 Retribution Army, 3 Signar, and 1 Scorn, and 3 Grimkin.
Okay.
There's a 9 total overall. A third of them were Signar, and a third of them were Grimkin.
And 1 Legion, 1 Red, and 1 Scorn.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Signar's top of the heap, and Grimkin's the new hotness. So, of course, you're going to see a lot of them.
Yeah. Somebody I was talking to yesterday was bragging about how their winning record with Grimkin is. Like, I'm like 34-4. And I'm like, well, you should start that record counting like 4 months from now when everybody has a chance to actually experience what Grimkin have instead of doing that. I sit down, I play Grimkin. What does Arcana do?
Yeah.
What does Arcana do?
Yep.
What does Arcana do? I lost.
Also, 4 months from now, when everybody has all their theme forces and can play all their models and theme forces and stuff like that as well.
Well, everyone's got their themes now.
Yeah.
Everybody does?
Yep, everyone does now.
Every model in the game is in a theme now.
Already? Oh, I thought
Yep.
that was until more like closer to Christmas.
No, that was
Nope.
in September.
Oh, yep.
I spent a lot of time entering all of that
You
in.
haven't been paying. Did you pay attention to this in the Blindwater CID?
A little bit.
There's a
That's the
giant-
thing, by the way. I can't go to my local game store and buy a Dracodile.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the big news. There's a giant crocodile that you can only order directly from Privateer Press, and
Yep.
people are annoyed.
Yeah, I guess we could just make this a discussion if we want. For the last 2 years, there's been like one really major type thing that's been going on with privateers models that people have complained about, mainly being like the Desert Hydra and Old Witch, even before she was sold out to stores. There've been problems with those. I'm wondering if this whole decision to do everything in-house for all their huge base models is not a distributor thing. Because of all the things that don't really sell at a game store itself is a
Yeah.
huge base model.
Well, that's the thing. It's a big investment for a game store to buy a huge base model to sit on the shelf and cross their fingers.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's the little cheaper things, they can just have a couple and just
Yeah.
throw them on a shelf and life will go on. And if people buy or don't buy them, okay, a little dust. They spent $5 on that Reinhold. Who gives a shit?
Correct.
But when they buy a Desert Hydra or 2
Yeah.
or, something like that, holy moly, that's a lot of money invested on product that is slow to move.
Yeah, and so I mean,
I don't
looking
feel
at,
this is a super anti-game store maneuver. Like, some
No.
people are being really up in arms, thinking this is Privateer fucking over FLGS.
Yeah, I think especially with with the online sales policy for Privateer Press, it's difficult to really say yes they're screwing over local game stores when in the past they have explicitly done things to protect local game stores.
Right.
I mean, I think this as far as I can tell is just an issue of not even distribution but manufacturing. My understanding is that they're going to the huge base resin models. And I think it's just resin, not the new plastic. The resin models are going to be produced domestically and shipped out.
Yeah.
And my guess
And they might
is-
keep a very small on hand. It might be basically almost made to order. Like,
yeah,
with the
that's my
turnover.
guess.
I mean, that's kind of how Forge World works as well too. Is they don't actually go and make a Titan, and just have it sit on a shelf for a while. They get an order for 5 of them because that's what the sprue can hold, and then they run the sprues for that.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's and I understand that there is issues with international buyers for these, but you've been getting away with tax evasion basically if you're not paying your import taxes on these, and they're also about 20 to 30% cheaper normally. Or Privateer is selling them cheaper than what they would basically at cost what they were normally selling to the distributors. So you're already paying a cheaper price for them. You're going to be paying more retail in a sense
Yeah.
in the long run if you're international. Shipping is free on all of them as well. So
Yeah.
And just in general, resin things that size are absurdly expensive for just manufacturing costs, and I think they're doing a lot of things to try to keep that down in addition to everything else.
Plus, it's in my opinion, it's removing a factor in there from the distributor where customer complains about their old witch model.
Yeah.
They have to get it back to the distributor, and then the distributor has to get it back to there. If they're working directly with the customer, overall, it's probably going to be a better experience for the customer and doesn't cost privateer money with the distributor.
Yeah.
Although in general, privateers always work direct with the customer once it's in customers' hands. Or at least with like Mispack and stuff like that. I don't know how they handled the warping from like the things that had the bad legs, like the old witch. But I know Mispacks, they were always direct relationship anyway.
Yeah, and
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't see it as some big negative thing. It's not like they're making all their product direct or anything like that. It's just a few select models that if I ran a game store, I'd be like, yeah, fine. Now, I know that like people like Jay Larson have mentioned it's affecting them a little more, but that I don't know the details of an online web store versus a game store. I don't know the sausage making aspect of discount games, so I can't talk to that. And apparently there's a T-shirt they're offering with the Dracodile that goes up to 2X.
oh well,
I don't know. I didn't know there was a T-shirt. If there's a T-shirt, I want it. If it only goes up to 2X, sorry.
bigger gamers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really have no qualms about this. I mean, the huge base models is a very small corner of the whole privateer line. I mean, it's not a very small because they're huge base, haha. But it's for the amount
referring to the customers as having a huge base. Because we're talking about clothing
Yeah, we're
size
talking about
now.
clothing size, yeah.
No, I want. Oh,
That's not going to work.
You're being mean. You don't care about people who can't fit it. You.
I don't
wow. First you say they have huge bases. Now you're saying you don't care about them.
Mm-hmm.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I'm a monster.
I want a Black Anvil Industries t-shirt. And I'm not 3X. So, okay.
I'm sure that was something that will change too. I mean, maybe that's all they ordered for the initial run. It's not like they can't contact whoever their screen printer is to make larger shirts.
Well, and that might be part of the thing actually. Is I know a lot of third party like screen printers.
Mm-hmm.
If you go through them, their standard pricing only goes up to 2X, and then anything beyond 2X, you actually have to pay more.
Yeah, like
so
5.
without knowing how many of the various sizes you're going to get, it's rougher to just blindly offer the bigger sizes, especially in something like this where they're throwing them in without actually charging for them. Like if I order shirts for all of us in a gaming club, and there's a guy who's bigger, I can just be like, "Hey, you need to chip in $5 extra because yours costs $5 extra."
Yep.
But with this, they don't have that. I mean, they could eat that $5 extra, but since they don't know how many, and they're probably ordering them in bulk, I don't know. Whatever.
And who knows? They could also get. Let's say they get a bunch of pre-orders too, and there's a bunch of people there that want a 3X shirt. They could be like, okay, we'll send over a run for them.
They might,
or
hang it up, and it'll be your inspiration shirt. I've got 2 inspiration shirts. I'm still fat, but I look at them, and someday I'll fit into those shirts.
You can fit in them now.
Yes. It does not look good if I wedge myself into my Mean Girl shirt.
Nick has a good point that it'll probably affect online gamers or online retailers more because one of the big things on the local store is you go in there to get the small stuff, but if you're ordering a model that big, a lot more people are going to care about the discount. So that's going to shift more stuff to the online merchants.
So I look at the stuff that doesn't sell at our local Pegasus games, and the stuff that doesn't sell there are all on the bottom shelf, and it's all huge base models.
Yep.
And that's taking up shelf space, and that's investment that they had made that they're going to have to discount and probably take a hit on eventually.
Yep.
And that's not good. I mean, and if they're making it where somebody else is going to handle that, fine. And I'm sure Peg will not be happy a little bit, but at the same time be happy that they don't have to waste shelf space for it.
Yeah, I mean, sure, it might be annoying, but it's an annoying thing with a benefit to them.
Correct. I mean, right now they're all, like, most of those things on there are all 25% off over at Pegasus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair point. Good talk.
Yay. I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think that it's something that is saying that it's the black anchor is actually sinking the ship.
The bigger issue is the fact that Privateer Press suddenly, for no reason, sued Battle College and forced them to shut down.
Yes, on a Sunday. Sunday they delivered that news.
Yeah. No, there isn't a problem here because if they ask them to shut down, what you would see instead of a loading that times out is a blank screen and a passive aggressive note about being shut down.
No, you're crazy. No,
we wouldn't see you would see if they contacted the web host for them, they would say that this website has been shut down for a violation of terms and service or something there.
They made them have it look as if their site's simply down for network issues over the weekend. That's part of the lawsuit. The Privateer sued Battle College, said you have to take your website down, but we don't want people to know about this, so we're going to make it look like a suicide.
Yeah, they attacked them with ninja lawyers.
Yes.
Clearly.
Ninja lawyers that work on the weekend. Yes. That doesn't sound right to me at all.
You never see them coming. They're like Spanish Inquisition ninja lawyers.
Still have the conquistador helmets and
yeah, they have the conquistador. The Spanish Inquisition was in the red the red bishop's robes and stuff.
Oh, is it? Oh,
it's not like the Spanish Inquisition was doing the Inquisition on like natives in
no,
Central
but
America.
I could have sworn never mind.
No, they were wearing the red. They were cardinals. They were Catholic priests, not warriors.
It says it took too long to respond.
See, you know why it took that long to respond? Privateer Press.
Because it's in a basement somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing, though, too, is so Battle College has also been on wiki pages for a long time as part of their original things. If Privateer ever wanted to take it down, they would just have to contact the owners of wiki pages just to remove that content off the site. And that's something they haven't done. All of their information that's basically on Battle College is available via the card database that they already have, and they already encourage people to use and distribute that.
Yes.
So I mean, it is kind of a non-topic itself but idiots just looking for another thing that they could point that the mothership is going down.
Oh my God. Battle College is down. It must be
It's a false flag operation, is what it is.
Yeah.
Oh God! I want to eat this biscuit. Oh, it's cold. Oh,
It's room temperature.
cold.
Last biscuit. Right here, and we'll use this as a coffin for my Tahitian treat to get a proper burial. There we go.
Do we have any other topics?
Good night, sweet prince.
Did you do anything special? Recently?
Recently?
Well, I was just saying
I bought The Witcher 3 Complete Edition, so that's my life now.
Yeah, I bought Divinity Original Sin 2, which is also awesome.
I hear great things about both those games.
I was annoyed by Witcher 3 because I started and I played for a couple hours. I did some side quests. I met this herbalist and I checked the internet, and the internet says I can't fuck her, and that's dumb. What kind of Witcher game is this? I should be able to fuck everybody. What's the point of a Witcher game otherwise?
Is that what you do for most video games?
Witcher games? Have you
Okay.
never played a Witcher game?
No, I haven't.
Especially, like, the third one, there's a lot less fucking. But in the first one, there's, like, dozens and dozens. Like, instead of, like, the, you know how you find, like, the little Doom guys in Doom as the little side things? In this, it's just fucking people. And they all have their own
Is there
romance
achievements
things.
for this?
Oh, yeah. It's achievements. In the first one, you got, like, little cards, like, for doing so that had, like,
Like your 12th one is free?
No, like you'd romance somebody, and then each of them had like a piece of artwork, basically like a boudoir photo shoot artwork that was for them, and then you would have a collection of those in your
character's a serial fucker.
That is one of the two jobs that Witchers have in the Witcher novels. Because they're monster hunters first and foremost.
And then a serial fucker?
Yes, they're gigolos is what they actually are. Because as part of what makes them good monster hunters, so they're mutated. Like they take these mutagens, which fuck with their body and makeup and let them do magic, and also make them stronger and superhuman and whatever. But that mutagen also makes them incredibly resistant to the point of immunity to disease. So they can't carry any diseases whatsoever, so they're clean guaranteed, and they're sterile. So when rich women want a hunky, ripped, strong, athletic man who can't possibly impregnate them and can't possibly get them a disease, they just hire a witcher. And so those are their two jobs. It's monster hunting and fucking.
Okay.
It's true. Yeah, and you can fuck a tree. Well, it's technically a nymph, but yeah. I'm going to check how many people you can fuck in each of the Witcher games. I'm wondering how downhill it went. I did get to kill a griffin, though, so that kind of made up for it.
Peter Griffin?
It was not Peter Griffin. That would have been an amazing mod, though. You could do that.
Just have Peter Griffin.
It just reminds me of that photograph on the internet that Jimmy John claims is not him, of the man fucking a shark.
Who's Jimmy John? I don't know.
Of Jimmy John's?
Oh, the actual owner of Jimmy John's?
Yes.
Yeah, the guy who murders endangered animals.
Yeah.
There's a picture of a man that looks like him naked mounting a shark, and he claims it isn't him.
Yikes.
Whatever, embrace it. I mean, England's prime minister fucked a pig.
Yeah, we saw that in the episode of Black Mirror.
Yeah, also the fact that after that episode of Black Mirror came out, it turned out it happened in real life. What a bizarre thing of life imitating art.
All right, hopefully I don't kill the stream here.
Don't kill the stream.
Well, I'm producing the credits video at the very end, and I'm hoping that my laptop handles it well.
Oh my god, there's so many romance cards in Witcher 1.
So you've played, you're playing Divinity...
Divinity Original Sin 2.
Original Sin 2?
Yeah.
I hear that's basically like isn't it like pretty much like Baldur's Gate?
Yes, it is very Baldur's Gatey. I mean, of course, you have even more control over your characters and a lot of neat stuff like that.
Cool. Are you still looking up cards?
Well, I was trying to see... I'm trying to find a comparison between the three games to see the number of romance... I'll just say romance now. It's more classy than fuckins. But the number of romance subquests there are. I do know in the third one, they do a dick move where...
like an actual dick move?
Do
you have to learn it? Is it
yeah,
like,
it's in the leveling up,
like
you get the dick move.
You got to press down, forward, and then angle down, and then punch, and that's a dick move?
There was a mini game in God of War 2 that was banging two chicks.
Yes, and yet
that
you
was
had to...
so dumb. But no, there's...
You only got to watch the nightstand throughout that whole thing, too.
Which is double dumb. But there's two women who... It's kind of like the Betty and Veronica of Archie. Like, these are the two, whatever. And so there's Triss and Yennefer. And you can romance either of them. But if you try to romance both of them, they tell you to get fucked. And you end up with neither of them. They get so pissed that you were trying to play both sides. Which is kind of an awesome ending. I'm totally Team Yennefer, by the way. I mean, Triss is a redhead, which is great, but...
I don't know the characters because I haven't played the game yet.
Yep, haven't played any of the Witchers.
You should play Witcher 3. It's on the PS4. If you have PS Plus, it's only $20 right now for the complete edition with all the DLC and everything. That's why I ended up buying it, because it's on the sale right now.
My life is involved in heists.
Nope.
And selling my counterfeit IDs.
Nope.
And just going around causing mayhem.
You can do that in The Witcher.
I can't do that with friends, though.
You don't know that.
Is there a multiplayer version of The Witcher?
No. So now you do know that.
Yeah.
But a minute ago, it was true that you did not know that.
Yeah, that is very true. I assumed that Brian would have tried to convince us to play Witcher with him if that was the case, because I know he wasted like 200 hours in that game before he was 25% done with the game.
Now, I don't want to hard sell this to you.
Sure.
But I will say that there is a part in Witcher 3...
Does it have Loaderbot?
Where you and your Witcher buddies get blind, stinking drunk, cross-dress, and prank call a wizard through his crystal ball.
I have I've seen videos of this. Yes.
Come on now.
Okay.
Come on now. Like, this game has that shit. You want it in your life.
If it's on sale, I might pick it up. No, Divinity does have multiplayer, though. It's actually pretty reasonable for the style.
That's for PC?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know, and I know it's not that expensive on PC. If it has multiplayer, I might be able to convince Chris to play it.
Yeah.
Chris
He
or Brian.
threatened to buy me Destiny 2 for the PC, and I bought a controller in case he went through with that, but he never went through with it.
No, I think... well,
Because he said he was going to buy it to me to force me to play keyboard and mouse, but he knew I would just buy a controller, so he backed off on that bluff.
I mean, PC might be a possibility for me for Destiny, but my PC really... It probably could not run Destiny.
Sure.
Which would mean I'd want it on the PS4, but we're already a month into it on the PS4, and that's... And nobody else is playing it. That, like, Brian isn't playing it, Jeremy isn't playing it. I mean, they're already done with it. And that's basically what I feared.
Yeah.
From the get-go is...
They got into the Division, they got into Destiny. The first time they got into Destiny 2, like, I don't jump in when Brian and Jeremy did. The only time I did that was when they were on PlanetSide 2, and that's because that was free. I was like, fine, I'll play this with you guys.
Did I play that with you? And basically it was just a matter of, like, I walk out of my spawn point, I get headshot.
Yeah.
And then I walk out of my spawn point and I get headshot.
Yeah, that's pretty much how PlanetSide worked.
Yeah, that was... It sucked. I really didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
I...
My Final Fantasy update for the chat is that I just
got
got
what?
I got the airship,
Oh, okay.
and so I have about 700 hours of Chocobo Hot and Cold ahead of me now.
Final Fantasy Update Tactics is still the best one.
But it's not a numbered one.
I didn't say a numbered
And
one.
it's-
I said
and
it's the
it's-
best
Oh,
one.
playing through 9 again has only reinforced that it's the best of the numbered ones. I don't hate on 7. We talked about the hipster hate on 7 before.
Yeah.
7's a great game. Don't backlash against it. But 9's fucking amazing.
So I know we usually frown upon talking about plans. What are you doing tomorrow night? We should watch...
It's Monday. I'm playing Gloomhaven.
Okay. All right. I was going to say we should watch Blade Runner and then go and watch it on Tuesday in the theater before it goes away.
I just rewatched Blade Runner like a month ago.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. So then I'll watch it and then we should go watch it on Tuesday night.
Yeah, it's I don't know which version of it I hate more.
'Cause I heard, I believe from my understanding, the general consensus is that the most recent director's cut is the one to watch.
Final cut, I think they call it.
Yeah, the Ridley Scott one or whatever. Yeah.
My issue is that fucking something's being pulled early because it's doing poorly.
Blade Runner.
Yeah, Blade Runner's doing really bad. In
Oh,
theaters.
is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not doing. It's basically repeating itself. It's basically the hardcore sci-fi freaks love it,
Yeah.
and then nobody else does.
Yeah, well, I mean, the original Blade Runner was
a flop.
at the box office too.
Does this one have terrible, terrible voiceover that was done terribly on purpose, specifically to fuck the movie over? Or was that just the first one?
Yeah, I think it's probably the first one.
Okay.
I've heard good things about this one as well. I don't know how much I like the original one, and that's why I feel like I really need to watch it again. Actually, watch it.
The original one has a lot of them. It has the Ridley Scott effect of having amazing visuals, an interesting world built around it. It's before he turned to shit, so it still has decent individual dialogue and character choice and stuff. But it is very long and very dry.
The one thing that's not a spoiler that I've heard that's very interesting is that the world building for this is the same.
Yeah.
For the new one, like basically technology doesn't change from the one in early '80s till now. Basically, the only thing that's added in there is that there's a drone from a car or something.
And a guy fucks a hologram.
I don't know.
Man.
Running theme tonight.
Yeah, I don't think The Witcher gets to fuck holograms though.
That'll be in The Witcher for 2086.
Yeah. Oh man, future Witcher? Be down for that?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I meant to see the new Blade Runner, but
Yeah, I know it's going to be pulled. It's either out of theaters right now or it's going to be pulled probably by the end of this week, I assume.
Yeah, I know everybody was pushing and saying, you need to see it in theaters, you need to see it before it goes away because it's so amazing, And I've been like, yeah, I've been busy.
I haven't seen. I think the last movie I saw was Kingsman 2, and that's it's been.
Last
about
one
a
I
month
saw
ago.
was It.
What was it?
It.
That's it.
What is It?
That's
You
it.
want it all.
You want it all, but you
You
can't,
can't have
it.
it. It's in your face. That's on my fucking Muzak at work. I'm like, hell yeah! Fuck yeah!
More as epic as in Muzak.
Yes!
You know the sad part is though, not really sad part. They probably actually made it themselves as well. They're that musically inclined that they probably did that.
No, it's the full song.
No,
It's
but
not like elevator music version of Muzak. It's the full song.
just epic is so it's not Muzak version of epic. It's just
No, it's Muzak.
Yeah.
Muzak is a brand of music providing, and they do the full songs. Elevator music isn't Muzak.
no.
Muzak is the people who provide the service to stores to have the shuffle playlists.
Oh, okay.
The point is, the current station I have on my work is amazing because it has like that. It has a bunch of Gorillaz songs. It has fucking Big Data on it.
But it's the actual song though.
Yeah, it's all the
Okay.
full songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but I want to hear like the cheesy version of.
You just want
of
the
Epic.
piano solo at the end, but for the whole length.
Yeah. That piano solo that's in the Bionic Commando doing the theme music for the 3D game is amazing.
Yeah.
But that's all I have to say about the 3D Bionic Commando.
And come on now, it's not that bad. It has its issues, but I don't hate it as much as everybody else does. I think every Bionic Commando game is worth playing.
I need to get a streaming device for my old Xbox and that, so I can actually play those over Twitch. Because I would play.
Do it on the PS4.
I don't want to buy it.
Wow. Fine.
I don't think it's actually available to buy on the PS4 Bionic Commando.
It was on the PS3.
It was on the PS3, but the thing is, I would have to get that stupid PlayStation View shit.
Right.
And no, fuck that shit. Like, I already own Bionic Commando Rearmed 1 and 2 on my PS3 and my Xbox 360.
So you're like how I was with Mega Man 9.
Yeah.
Where you had already owned it on the other system, and it's
Yeah.
bullshit that you can't own it on the new one.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna pay their like $20 a month for their rental service.
Man, Raylene and I just did the math, and we have Netflix, Hulu, Stars, HBO Now, Verizon Music. We have all these streaming. We're paying like $80 a month when you add up all these streaming services.
No Spotify.
We don't have Spotify because we have the Verizon Music, or not Verizon, excuse me, Amazon Music instead. And Amazon Music has like literally every song ever. It's just better Spotify.
Okay.
I don't even use. I just use the Prime version of it.
Yeah.
which is limited in there, but it's still really
Prime
good.
version is still insane.
Yeah.
The one if you spend like the $5 or $10, whatever we're paying for the Amazon
The
Music, the
unlimited
full
version
thing,
of it. Yep.
it like you name any song, it's fucking on
Yeah.
there. It's crazy.
Yeah, but even then, it's still cheaper than cable.
Yeah, but it starts to add up.
It
I'm like,
does.
maybe I should just get cable at this point.
Yeah, interesting story about my Netflix account. So I was like, I haven't watched my Netflix account for months, and it just and that's kind of how it goes. You're just paying in the background. You're paying your $10.50 or whatever it is for months and months and months. And so I just decided I'm going to cancel it. So I cancel it. I got an email that says, "All right, your account has been canceled. It will end on September 28th." And then September 28th comes around, I just happened to glance at my bank account, and I saw that they charged me for another month. And I got an email saying, your account will be canceled on October 28th. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? So I had to call up Netflix and tell them, why the fuck are you charging me? I was like, oh, we thought you wanted it still. I'm like, no, I canceled it.
Yeah, but you didn't really cancel it.
I'm wondering if that was something they had set in place where, if somebody calls up and cancels it, that they're like, oh,
We'll just switch to month to month.
we'll just
see
switch
what
to
you
month
like.
to month
Yeah.
instead. Yeah. No.
I mean, that's even worse than Blizzard when you tried to cancel World of Warcraft and you got the crying.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? You don't cancel WoW. WoW
I've
cancels
done
you.
it 6 times now.
Yeah, the old quitting smoking is easy. I do it every week. Yeah.
Did you? Then you weren't part of the people on the 10th anniversary of WoW that all got like a $400 statue, bronze statue sent to them.
What?
So if you signed up for WoW like the day that they started off and you kept the subscription going for the 10 years that WoW was existing, employees or the Blizzard actually sent you a bronze statue of Thrall on a worgen that they have outside their studio, outside their company. They sent like a huge statue to you.
How many people were subscribed to it continuously for 10 years?
Don't know. I want to say it was definitely it was cost efficient for them to do that.
I'm guessing triple digit.
Yeah, I
But
know it's in the
barely,
hundreds.
yeah,
I know
hundreds.
I know it was in the hundreds. But I mean that's kind of cool in a way.
Yeah, on the other hand, it shows how much money they're rolling in from all these people.
That they're still making decent money on WoW. I mean that game still does well. All of the stupid Blizzard products are doing well too. I'm really curious to see how crazy next week Destiny 2 hits PC.
Destiny 2?
Yeah,
It's not already on PC?
It didn't come out at the same time with the PlayStation version.
No, it was about a month later.
It's also going to be on BattleNet. It's the first non-Blizzard game on BattleNet.
I'm just saying, like, there's only a certain amount of time until Overwatch, the bubble bursts and people come back to Battleborn. That's fucking happening. That's coming.
Man, I tried to play Battleborn when you were like, and it was like, oh, there's this awesome game called Battleborn.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I wish there were 4 other people playing it. I guess I would need 9 to play versus.
Battleborn it's a really solid game. It is really unfortunate it came out around the time that another team shooter came out and was made by Blizzard.
Yes.
Yeah, it's almost like Blizzard moved theirs up a month and a half specifically to shit down their throats. Oh, poor Battleborn. That's okay. Gwent is better. I'll just always go with... Well, no, because I play Heroes of the Storm over Dota or whatever that other thing is. LOL.
Yeah.
Heroes of the Storm is the best of those ones. But I'm all Gwent. Fuck you, Hearthstone.
I don't play Hearthstone. I played Gwent a couple of times, but...
Oh, the thing with... That's another stupid thing in Witcher 3 is that the Gwent version of Gwent that's in Witcher 3 is slightly different than the version that I play when I'm playing Gwent, and it fucks with my head.
Yeah, there's... I can't really move my monitor. So.
It's a big black screen with a lumpy thing that I can't see because of the angle of monitors.
Sorry.
I'm sure it'll be interesting later when I remember to look at it.
Yeah, but they didn't say how many people they give out, but yeah.
Oh, and it's anybody who's subscribed within the first 2 months. So that's a big window.
Yeah.
Because they probably expanded it, they checked it, if we did day 1 people, oh, there's 3 people. What if we do week? What if we do month? And they got to some amount where it was a number of statues they thought was the correct number to send out.
Yeah, but you had to keep your subscription continuously through that time too.
Sure.
And unfortunately, I was probably pretty close to that. I stopped playing right after Burning Crusade and most of Wrath. I came on the last part of Wrath at all, and I've been on since that point. So
I made a character on my stepson's account and played for a week and then never played again. So how close was I?
no, not at all.
It's super close?
No.
I played through the entirety of Classic and part of Burning Crusade, and I didn't actually play at all during Wrath. And then every expansion since then, I've hopped in for a little while and played, and then just realized it's this requires too much organization of people, so I'm going to do something else. That's how it does every expansion.
Day 1 to the end of City of Heroes and Villains.
Yeah.
Do I get a statue for that?
No, you just get a sadness.
That's such a good game. Why do I always back games that fail?
What you
They're
get?
always so good.
What you get, Nathan, is another warehouse with the same setup. Just now, it's got clockworks.
The clockworks were amazing. And fifth column before they changed them because people were sad. Why were people sad about punching Nazis? Bullshit.
Why are people sad about New
Yeah.
Colossus
That's
or
a
Wolfenstein 2?
that's a political question.
Yeah. Oh, how dare I politicize it?
But
Fuckers.
I did like City of Heroes. The issue I had with it was I was in it early, and man, that was really annoying going to
The instances.
missions, and the instances were basically the same exact instance, just different villains.
Oh, no, I have to disagree. Cataclysm, Cataclysm was one of my favorite expansions.
Yeah.
Because that was I started it up and was going to create new characters from the beginning, and like going from the first few levels didn't suck. It was nice. It was nice that it's like you could level in the old world without it sucking. And then I remember getting to that point where I got done with the old world and went to Burning Crusade, and it's like, oh yes, the leveling there does suck horribly. And
Well, if I remember correctly, for Burning Crusade, when you were leveling there after the whole giant wave of people went through with leveling, it really sucked because all the mobs would just respawn instantly because they had them all set to handle the amount of population that was there. But if you were just there by yourself and you could take forever killing a guy, then 5 other guys would pop up next to you and you'd be like, oh, I guess I'm dead now.
And also the other thing I really didn't like about Burning Crusade was just how single colored the zones were. It's like you come into the first zone that is nothing but reddish orange and reddish orange everywhere, and then it's like, oh my god, I've got this color burned into my retina. And so now I leveled out of it and go to the next level, which is blue everywhere and nothing but blue.
Yeah, Zangabash. And then you go to the Blades Edge Mountains,
Yeah, so it's
and
like
then it's
brown
like,
everywhere.
now I can't go anywhere because there's mountains fucking everywhere.
Yeah, and it's brown, so it's like you go from one. It's like there's the Nagrand, which is a really nice looking zone in there, but until you get there, it's like, okay, this is one color. Next zone, one color, but it's a different color. Next zone, different color, still one color. Ah.
Yeah.
I want to see what happens when you get to the ultraviolet zone.
Yeah, actually there is. The violet zone was the nether zone.
Ultraviolet.
No, there's no vampires there at all, or like the true meaning of Gunkata as well.
That's true.
Because that's how Oh,
Wah wah.
Kurt Wimmer. Why couldn't you make a good movie and just not make any others?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what Kurt Wimmer has made since that point, but
Probably not much of anything.
Ultraviolet was definitely not the movie to follow up. Oh God, I forgot the name of the movie now. With Christian Bale. Come on, help me, guys.
No.
You're gonna let me struggle throughout this whole thing.
You've done this to me before.
Oh God, damn it! It is Christian Bale, and there's a sad puppy, and he's sad when he looks at the puppy. And then there's no emotions because they're not supposed to have emotions. They say it's just like the Matrix. Equilibrium. Thank you.
Yes. He has only directed Ultraviolet, Equilibrium, and then in 1996 he directed something called One Tough Bastard.
Well, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, starring Brian Bosworth.
That sounds... No, I have looked that up too because I remember that because I was like, oh, the Boz is in a movie with him?
Yeah,
we should watch that. We should.
He has written such great things as the new Total Recall and the new Point Break.
Oh, he did Point Break?
Yeah. And Untitled Hong Kong action thriller. He's working on that one.
So
and
he's...
Twister. Apparently a new Twister that's being made. And then a TV movie version of Salt, because he wrote Salt as well.
So he's basically somebody that's our age, in a sense, that's just reliving his own nostalgia, and somebody's paying him money to do it.
He's the technical term for what he is a hack. He's a hack.
Equilibrium was good though. I liked Equilibrium.
Sure.
Yeah.
So a guy, he shit out one good movie, and then he shit out a worse version of it, and then he hacked a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Fucking Total Recall, man. How do you? You bring in Bill Nighy halfway through your film, and I'm like, oh, thank God, Bill Nighy's good. Oh no, you killed him. Yeah. Yeah. Like how do you do that, Kurt Wimmer?
I have not seen the new Total Recall. It's a movie I have happily avoided. I mean, Colin Farrell is
instead of taking place in Mars, it takes place like
San Francisco or some shit.
Australia. It's the other side of the world.
Okay. Okay.
And so the way you get there is you take like an elevator that goes straight through the middle of the Earth to come out the other side, because that's faster than going around.
What?
Yeah, you just go right through the middle in an elevator. And halfway
Takes a lot
through,
less energy too.
yeah, halfway through the elevator just like flips over because gravity switches.
What?
And then so yeah, you're going down and then you're coming up and it's just gravity switches.
No, the physics for that work out really interestingly.
Yeah.
I mean, there are massive engineering problems that this is never going to get done. But if you drill a hole between any 2 points on the Earth and you jump down it, it takes about 45 minutes to get from one side to the other, regardless of the distance, because of the way gravity works. It's actually the math behind it is really neat, but nobody's ever going to do it because the engineering.
You
is
would have the
ridiculous.
momentum to come out the other side?
Yeah, if you ignore friction, you will get right exactly where you started before you fall back towards the center of the Earth.
Oh, so if the other side of the Earth was like slightly above, like like the
There's a
thickness of
hill.
the egg,
Yeah.
it might be.
If there was a hill on the other end, yeah.
Yeah. So the starting points, you would want to like build a tower to buy yourself like 100 feet of just in case.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so there's a big fight scene like in the middle of the Earth when gravity's like switching and stuff, and it's really dumb.
Wow, that seems a lot more expensive
Right.
to put onto screen than just adding like a red lens filter and say it's Mars.
Yeah.
Oh,
Also, they get rid of that whole like recall part of Total Recall, and he's just a dude, and it's all real.
so it's just an action flick.
It's just an action
So
flick.
it has nothing to do with like okay. So you're telling me that the fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger film is more cerebral than this film?
Yes. Yes. I mean, there's some like of the recall thing, but there's definitely no like, is it real? Is it fake? Fake out or whatever. It's just like he's a spy and it's all real from the start, and they never even try to be smart about it. And then they do kung fu in the middle of the Earth.
Because that's like the best part about the Arnold Schwarzenegger flick is you
Is that
don't
it ends
know.
with him being lobotomized? Maybe.
Yeah,
nope,
you
none
don't
of that.
know if and. I can't believe that the goofy Arnold Schwarzenegger get the people there. Yeah.
Come on, Cohagen. You got what you wanted. Give these people the air.
That's
Which is a
the
great
more-
Austrian Death Machine song title
I cannot listen to them anymore.
because of the one guy.
The
and
lead
stuff,
singer,
yeah,
the guy who's behind Austrian Death Machine
is a shithead.
is a big ass shithead.
Okay, what did he do?
Put a contract out for his wife and kid.
The fuck?
Yep.
Yeah. But it's hilarious that he made a concept album where the entire thing was just songs based on Arnold Schwarzenegger quotes. I mean, that was funny.
It's comedic death metal, and I enjoy comedic death metal. I don't like most death metal, but comedic death metal, that works for me. Like a Metalocalypse works with me. Death Clock, and yeah, the Austrian Death
Psycho
Machine.
Stick. You can just switch to Psycho Stick.
Psycho Stick is pretty good too.
Come on.
Yeah.
We are dogs and we love socks.
But yeah, man, that tool bag, Tim LaBasis or whatever his name is
Tim the Toolbag Labasis.
yeah, he's a fucking idiot. He's talented. I mean, he played everything that was on those albums. So he played drums, played guitar, played bass, everything on it. Did the singing, everything. And then you find out he's a tool bag. Fuck him.
Well, I mean, who hasn't taken out a contract to have their wife and kid murdered every once in a while?
Yeah. I mean, there is a thing called divorce. I mean,
Right, but if you pay the killer less than half of your money, it's cheaper.
God.
You're not thinking terribly enough, Andy.
How could I just
But yeah,
I don't even have a wife and kid at all. I mean, I could not. Maybe that's what would switch in me if I.
yeah,
could
you don't
do-
have one. You don't know what it's like to hate them until you have them.
Yeah, I like the Institute of Marriage so much. I did it twice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know why divorce is so expensive? Because it's worth it.
See, I have
You get what you
every
paid for?
fucking day. I thank God that my first wife and I are bestest buddies, and we literally like high-fived when the divorce came through. I'm like, yay, high five, let's go on with our lives. It's just great. Like, that doesn't happen outside of sitcoms. Like, completely amicable divorce. Amazing. The only other time I've seen one that amicable is Raylene's. So we both got lucky.
Yeah, a friend of mine when he got divorced, he kept his wife. His wife was a dentist, and he kept his wife as a dentist. And I was like, yeah. It's like you can tell that's amicable if you're willing to be strapped down in a chair, unconscious next to them.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Yep.
You have that living roommate, and you're like, no, I can't do this. I can't have this living roommate anymore. This is go away. And here's a bunch of my money. God damn it. So, as somebody who hasn't been married, what does I hear about alimony? I mean, what does that exactly mean? I know it usually just means wife gets money, or technically, I think husband sometimes can get money. Is it just basically?
It technically
like
should mean So, the theory is, let's say that David and I are married, okay? And I just take care of the kids at home. I don't have a job. He makes $250,000 a year.
Sure.
It's fine for us as a family,
Sure.
right? But when we get divorced, it sucks for me to have no money all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I'm broke. I can't pay for my home. I can't buy food. The kids, even if you say we're going to share kids or whatever, regardless of the custody thing, I can't take them anywhere. I am literally broke. I need to suddenly have enough money to fend for myself. So the concept of alimony is the judge say, hey, David, you've been taking care of him so far. Keep doing it. And so he has to pay me monthly so that I can continue to live the way that I've been living with him, but now not with him.
Yeah. Also,
how long does that
alimony-
last? Is that until you are no more?
It depends on the ruling.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
A lot of
something
times it's
lawyers
tied to the
involved in.
kids' ages, like sometimes until
So
the
it's-
kids are adults, because part of it, it's
kind of like a
oftentimes
child
it's
support?
oftentimes tied with
Oh,
child
it's
support.
it's a separate thing from child support.
It's separate because the alimony is for me to get taken care of, and the child support is for the kids to get taken care of. So, but they're oftentimes tied together. With Raylene's first marriage, the funny thing was that he had to pay her child support, but she had to pay him alimony, and so they just called it even Steven and didn't give each other any money.
Sure.
So yeah, it's weird. But that's the concept of it, is so that the person doesn't get fucked. Because otherwise, I'm just stuck with him. He could be beating me every single day, and I literally can't afford to leave him. And so it's there to make sure people can afford to leave.
And you, as like a live home person, you wouldn't have the work history to be able to
Exactly.
get a job.
I
that-
probably
that's
haven't
the
had a
main
job
thing.
for 20 years,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah.
Okay.
That's the
I
concept.
just never heard. I mean, I never really. Thank you.
Right.
I
Until
just-
you go through it, all you know is it's a way that people get fucked over by terrible women, is how the industry, or how the media puts it.
how the media puts it, and how movies put it.
Yeah,
as
this
well,
harpy
and stuff
ex-wife,
like-
and I owe her the alimony, and
Yeah.
no, it has a rightful reason for existing, just doesn't always work out right. Andy, what do you think of the mini crate from PP? Asks Gornis78.
I wish it was the Popeyes box because it's about the same size.
And you just wish it had
It
Popeyes
should,
in it.
it should have biscuits in it, but it doesn't.
It should come with biscuits.
Send that to Pagani. Yeah, the improvement for the mini crate is it needs to have biscuits.
Box of Popeyes biscuits. Oh, that'd be great if they had like a little hand warmer inside of it, so they could just.
Yeah.
No, the mini crate is pretty cool. I'm got the first one. I did not get the special edition one where you got the sheep wolf and sheep's coin, the Gorman de Wolf one. I didn't get that alternate model. But I
She's got the sexy swamp siren.
which for a cheesecake model, not that bad for a cheesecake model though. I mean, it's
Comes with a card.
well, not really a card you can use. It just has like a card that says.
Well, that's what I mean, like a collector's card.
yeah. What's
Like a
it?
sticker book.
Pretty.
Oh, she's a single piece? Oh, no, she's got an arm.
Got
a
one
separate
metal
arm.
arm that's off to the side.
Neat. What is she holding?
Look like a head of something.
It's just a little chitness thing that also has tentacles. Somebody who knows more about the Monsternomicon probably knows what it is. We'll have to ask Marshall sometime
Yeah.
what she's holding.
But it's
But some kind of little creature.
yep. That's why I sold my swamp horror because I'm getting a swamp horror in the mail.
Yep. Well, I only have one. Now I'll have two swamp horrors. Because I will continue to buy everything for my factions until I for sure never play again.
You'll play again.
We'll play
Maybe
again.
we'll see. I might play come next summer. So another 6-7 months from now, maybe.
Play some Company of Iron with us.
I'm definitely not playing any War Machine until I move because I can't get to it.
You moving? Where are you moving?
Don't know yet. Probably somewhere west side of Madison. Either that or Stoughton.
No.
Those are the two ideas. Because either super convenient right here or there's this goddamn like mansion, but it's out in Stoughton.
So the one thing I wish they did though for the crate, and I know it's not something that they can do. I mean, the crate
Does
is
it include
actually
Popeye's biscuits?
yes,
Yeah.
include Popeye's biscuits.
Yeah, I mean, there's room in there for biscuits.
Definitely.
It definitely is room in there for biscuits.
Their
Their mailing
You
label
just slap it right on the box.
I mean, the box is really kind of cool. It's a nice little decorative. It could be used for a lot of things, for keeping tokens and such. But the mailing label that's on the bottom of it is ridiculously huge.
Yeah, well, that's
You can see where I live if you want to. If you zoom in,
zoom in.
you don't want to see where I live. That's actually my work.
Yeah, actually, you
Don't
don't
go
live
over.
there.
I don't live there.
You don't live there at all.
Oh, it's actually. Oh no, never mind. It's rip it up.
Ooh,
What?
yeah.
Yeah, that's an idea.
Biscuits as packing materials.
You just why's my model all oily? Butter. Oh
Yeah, my model's delicious.
that's not good because that's resin.
Whatever. I mean, I already chew on resin
Occupational
models. It
hazard.
might as well be delicious.
It only causes cancer in California, from what I've seen.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it's only known to cause cancer in California.
But otherwise, I mean, it's technically that I would say that would probably be about a $20 model.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing.
for
is-
privateers, so you're getting it for cheaper than what it is, and
Yeah.
As with all the crate things, if you want what's in them, they are worth it.
yeah.
You know, they get their money on the fact that you shouldn't want what's in them. Like this one of all of them, like, is the most worth it. But things like the loot crates and stuff like that, like, I'm perfectly happy having nothing that's been in any loot crate ever. Like, my
Correct.
life has gone on. But once you buy it and you're like, here's my $20 or whatever, and a whole bunch of shit shows up, if you break it down, the shit's worth more than $20.
Yeah.
You just didn't need it.
Yeah, I didn't need an Apasa Bear bow tie, but, I got one now.
I almost wore mine yesterday because I couldn't find a tie to wear with my costume.
Oh, man.
Raylene brought it up when we were getting costumes, and then I just didn't wear it. I forgot to.
But, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's nice to see the new models. Like, next month's model is Rupert's, which is kind of like a sexy Rupert with a troll whelp with him. So I'm actually more interested in the whelp model than the sexy Rupert. Speaking of trolls, man, they got a crazy update, and we have
Yeah.
like 5 million people playing trolls now at this store.
Oh, yeah, the Troll CID is amazing.
Yeah. It was-
Also, people don't
Troll Grim is
understand
awesome.
how CID works because, like, Crix was going into CID next, I
Yes.
believe.
Yeah.
And somebody on Facebook was like, she fucking A Privateer Press. Like, they're already so good, and now you're going to put them in CID and make them even better. It's like, CID isn't make them better. It's
No.
see what needs to be done.
Or-
and if
or-
what needs to be done is smacking shit down, they will smack shit down.
Or it's in that's their production schedule. Like the next series of models that Privateer is releasing is basically going to be Black
Yeah.
Ogren stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, because we know
and-
that's going to be in there with Scar 3, the Black Ogren, the Soul Cage, and the couple
Misery
of-
Cages.
Misery Cage, and the Ironmonger and stuff. And we'll see if anyone and Coven show up on the document as well.
Obadiah Stone, is it going to be a War Machine now?
Yeah,
Nice. Obadiah Stone.
the Ironmonger.
Oh, it's Stain.
That's what I said.
That just threw me off at first.
Sorry.
I think Oh.
God, he.
Jeff Bridges needs to see a speech actor or a speech therapist. Like he's on a
like
commercial.
An RIPD too.
Yeah,
Like,
he's on some commercial for I think Lyft or something like that, and he's riding in a stagecoach, and he's just like Lyft.
seventh shot of a seventh shot. What is the deal with Marvel villains? They're going after a weapon,
Okay, so
and they already have a weapon that's way more useful than that weapon.
did you just watch Spider-Man recently?
No, but
Okay.
I'm sure it's in that too.
Yeah.
But Obadiah Stane
Yeah.
wants a super suit,
Yeah.
But he has a doodad that incapacitates anyone within like 100-yard radius, and the thing is small enough to fit in your pocket.
Yeah.
That's way fucking more useful than an Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
Because you sell that thing to every police station, to every independent defense contractor, every army, and you make infinite money. Mm-hmm. Fucking what's-his-nuts in Ant-Man wants another stupid super suit, and he has a gun that murders people instantly and gets rid of all evidence. Mm-hmm. That's a pretty useful thing to have.
Yeah.
Use that.
Yeah. I don't know. With
All
great
right, I'm
power
done.
comes great responsibility.
What does that even mean?
When you have great power, you have to have great responsibility.
There's a comic called The Hood that was like from the point of view of just a small-time thug who
Sure.
got like some super suit, and the tagline was, "With great power comes great opportunity." It's pretty awesome.
Speaking of super suits coming out, Greatest American Hero is being rebooted.
Oh, God.
I'm walking on air.
That show is awesome.
It is awesome.
How can you not have a great show that involves a guy who gets a super suit from aliens and doesn't know the instructions on how to use that
He
suit?
lost the instruction manual.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I believe they're going to have a female lead in the new one, I heard.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, which is cool. Good job.
Yeah. Any excuse to bring that song back into rotation again is great.
Well, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the best theme songs in 70s superhero films or television shows.
Yep, I have come to realize that every single time when I'm flying a helicopter in Grand Theft Auto, I want the Airwolf theme music playing.
Sure.
I want it.
Pro tip, don't Google what has become of Jan Michael Vincent.
Yeah, it's not.
He
good.
has not had a good life.
No.
He had Airwolf, and then it was all downhill from there.
Yeah, he had the world in his hands.
He had legs.
Oh, what?
He doesn't have legs anymore.
Oh,
At least one of them's gone. He lost at least one of his legs. He's also like insane and strangles women. Like there's
he has like a pile next to him or something. It's like, next.
no.
Where's my leg?
I think he might have one leg still. I don't remember, but he has at most one leg.
Oh, this is scary. So the first thing that pops up when I type in Jan is Michael Vincent immediately into
Yeah.
it's the Google autocomplete.
Yeah, no, he has not had a good life. Like I said, I told you don't Google Jan Michael Vincent. I specifically warned you against this.
Oh
name.
my god!
Yeah, no, it's
It stares into your soul.
He-
with
he-
his dead eye.
he is. Yeah. Oh, does he? Is there a dead eye too? That's possible. It's.
He insisted in October of 2015. Jan Michael Vincent insisted to the Inquirer, "I'm doing really good," but his third wife Patricia Ann had to do most of the talking.
Yeah, no, things are not good for Jan Michael Vincent. So
No.
I said not to Google, and you're doing the opposite of that.
I know. Well, you had me thinking. I wanted to see. Like,
My recommendation is don't be Jan Michael Vincent. Also,
yeah, that's yeah. Oh,
zappity.
Zappity.
I got nothing. What were we even talking about? Oh yeah, Greatest American Hero. We were off the rails. I don't even remember what the conversation was that started that. Oh, it was your crate. That was all based on your mini crate.
Oh, so yeah, no, he
He lost the leg because he did heroin, is what it was. I know that.
peripheral artery disease.
Yeah, from injecting shit into said artery too many times.
He also revealed he had a tax debt in the excess of $70,000.
Well, he's got all that Airwolf money still, obviously, so he should be able to get that off, no problem.
No, he actually made movies in 2000. Escape to Grizzly Mountain. Let's see what that is.
This is the guy, and he escapes to a mountain.
Oh, it's with Grizzly Adams.
Grizzly Adams was still alive?
Must have been around that time.
I hope so. If they did like Weekend at Bernie's style and Grizzly Adams wasn't alive and they still made a movie with him and Jan Michael Vincent, that'd be bad.
That's actually a movie I would really love to see a remake of. Or
Escape to Grizzly Mountain.
or a third Weekend at Bernie's movie.
Don't invite John Fugelsang back into the world.
Who's John Fugelsang? Is that Bernie?
No, wasn't that one of the two guys? Or was that John?
No, it was Andrew. Andrew
that's right.
something, and
John Fugelsang in my head for some reason.
why? Yeah, you look up him. I'm gonna look up.
John Fugelsang. I know he was one of they had 17 different hosts of America's Funniest Home Videos for a couple weeks, and he was one of them.
Yeah, it's Jonathan Silverman and Andrew McCarthy.
Jonathan Silverman. Okay,
Yeah.
one of the other Johns that I don't give a shit about.
But yeah, having another Weekend at Bernie's. Come on, did you guys like Weekend at Bernie's or not?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
I don't remember any. My life. I have more important things to my life than Weekend at Bernie's.
The first one is amazing. The second one he gets resurrected by some voodoo thing, and every time he hears the voodoo music, he then starts walking towards his treasure. It's an amazing film. It's great.
No,
they end up because they can't play the boombox all the time, so they give him headphones out in the middle
And
of
they're
the
just
ocean.
following him to the treasure.
Yeah.
So he can walk in the ocean,
Yep.
like on top of the water or
No,
along the
they
bottom
actually
of the water.
they weight him down, so he walks on the on the bottom of the ocean.
And do they're just above him, like watching him?
I
Is he on a
don't
rope?
remember this movie as well as I should.
Is he a
but-
deep sea diver?
No.
They're,
I will say that was I saw a Weekend at Bernie's, and I remember what the premise of it was, but don't actually remember anything out of the movie itself other than the premise. So I mean, this is one of the has the least impact on me amongst movies I've seen.
Terry Kaiser is still alive. We can still do this.
I can't think of anything Jonathan Silverman has done that has had an impact on my life.
Who?
Sarah Silverman has had a bigger impact on my life.
Andrew McCarthy has done stuff to impact your life.
Wasn't he the second Spider-Man?
Andrew McCarthy? No. It's Andrew Garfield.
Are you looking up Jonathan Silverman's IMDb to see if he made anything that I would give a shit about? Because spoiler, he hasn't.
He was on Psych.
What? Well, like one episode or something?
Yeah.
Okay, guest appearances don't count. Give me a movie or a starring role.
That's going to be a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
Beethoven's Treasure Tale.
So he did like the 7th Beethoven movie
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
what was fuck.
He was in Numbers.
Grodin, Charles Grodin?
What about Charles Grodin?
Grodin? He was in the first few Beethovens, wasn't he? Or am I
No.
thinking of Problem Child? He was in Problem Child.
He was in Problem Child.
Yeah.
You were thinking of the dad that was in Third Rock from the Sun. John Lithgow.
John Lithgow wasn't in the Beethoven movies, was he?
I think he was a Beethoven.
I've never seen a Beethoven movie, by the way.
I think he was in a Beethoven film.
I've only seen one movie with Saint Bernard in it, and it was eating people.
No, I've never seen Cujo.
Spoiler: he eats people.
I'm trying desperately to find a movie that he was in. Arliss.
Oh boy,
He was in a TV series.
Yeah,
Arliss was a
Arliss.
good show.
spelled with $2 signs.
Yeah, I liked Arliss.
I was talking with.
I
He
love
was in
John
Weekend at
Lithgow,
Bernie's
but he has
too.
been in a lot of terrible movies.
He has been, although
Who
when
is
he was
John
playing
Lithgow.
when he was
Oh.
playing villains in the '80s, like in
Yeah.
Ricochet and Raising Cain, like he was fucking creepy.
Ricochet is probably one of my favorite because
Buckaroo
that was the one
Banzai.
where he was believing that he just does so much good to counteract all of the bads that he does.
No,
Or I'm thinking,
I don't think so. I mean, Ricochet's the one where he gets out of jail and he escapes from prison and he fakes his death and then he's trying to fuck over Denzel Washington.
oh, I'm thinking a different movie with John Lithgow.
Yeah, and then Raising Cain is the one where he has dissociative identity disorder and is a murderer. Well, one of his identities is a murderer. It's good stuff. Spoilers.
Buckaroo Banzai and his adventures across
Yeah, The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension. John Warfin.
John Warfin is one of the classic villains.
That is Lithgow. He needed every Oscar for that shit. I laugh a while you can, a monkey boy.
I haven't seen Buckaroo Banzai in many, many years. I don't
my
know
God.
how much that would stand up for me.
It stands up. It's so brilliantly unique, but it still fucking makes sense. Like that's the thing. Like take note, shitty hack that does Twin Peaks, whatever the fuck your name is. David Lynch. There is weirdness in Buckaroo Banzai. There's just a watermelon there, right? And somebody's like, what's that watermelon doing there? And it's, whatever, and they move on. It's weird, but the thing is, the plot still adds up. There's still a conflict. People still have motivation. It's you can have surrealism. You can have your own
Like
rules.
Jeff Goldblum in vaudeville cowboy gear.
Sure. His character decided that's his superhero costume. Who are we to say no? Okay?
Yeah.
But the story still works. And that's what fucking matters. Not having a Bigfoot that lives behind a dumpster, behind a Stuckey's, releasing tiny Jewish people from a magic blue box who tickle your main character until she kills herself. That's not a fucking movie.
That's the movie I remember. Hollow Point. It was one of the HBO movies when HBO was just making their own movies.
Sure.
It's got Donald Sutherland and John Lithgow and Tia Carrere.
So is he like a villain, but then he does nice stuff to...
He does nice
because he
things
thinks
to-
it counteracts it?
Yep. He believes in the whole karma thing. So
Sure.
for every bad thing he does two nice things.
They just like blow a nun's head off and then give 2 lollipops to kids?
yeah, stuff like that.
That's kind of cool.
It's a bad movie, but it's an entertaining bad movie. It's Tia Carrere, like right after Wayne's World
Sure.
as well. So
Cujo's a good movie.
I've
Really?
never
They were discussing because she's a big Stephen King fan, and most of his movies are fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And all of his good movies are the ones that have like no supernatural horror in them. Because his good movies are like Shawshank Redemption, Green Mile, Stand By Me, Cujo, these things that are just real world. Now, Green
Running
Mile,
Man.
Running Man, sure, Running Man. Like,
but that really has nothing to do with the book.
but that's fine. It still is a good adaptation. It's got the idea, like the ending's different, but it's the whole. I mean, it's still the concept of
The concept of the
being
game
hunted
show.
for entertainment. They
Yeah.
changed the details, obviously, but like Green Mile has a little bit of magic with Coffee, and his ability to do shit, but it's not like demons and monsters and stuff.
Correct.
And for some reason, I think that just doesn't translate to the film versions because when you have one of his movies with that shit, they're all terrible.
It's also movies that really deviate from his original scripts to kind of.
But we just said Running Man.
Well, no,
Right?
some movies don't. I mean, some movies go with the horror type thing, and then they just go with
Oh,
the
sure,
horror
sure,
thing.
yeah.
Like Under the Dome.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean
that TV show, fucking, that went off
but
the
I mean,
rails.
but I mean because I mean, the first season was actually pretty decent for it until near the end of the first season when they realized, hey, a lot of people are watching this.
What do
we
we
need
do?
to have this continue, and so then they just went, all right, let's go this way off the trail.
What they needed to do was have one season.
One
And then
season,
stop.
just call it and be done.
And be done.
And it would have been actually we would be talking about how great that season is. It's
Yeah.
kind of like Heroes in a sense, where if Heroes stopped it where Heroes was in season 1, where they ended saving the cheerleader and saving the world, and that actually meant something.
What they could have fucking done, because here's the thing: the reason they do a second season, because they're like, oh, people are watching this. We want advertiser dollars. We want revenue. We need to keep going while the hammer's hot. Well, the hammer's hot. The hammer doesn't get hot. The anvil gets hot, and the anvil shouldn't even get hot. The idol should get hot, and the anvil and the hammer should both be cold.
Anvil should
like
not
when-
get hot at all.
Anyway.
It's basically what you're.
Everything's hot.
when
Sexy,
iron is
sexy blacksmiths. Everything's hot. Anyway, so what? You got a problem with sexy blacksmiths? See, you're just envisioning like a dwarf. I'm envisioning.
That's exactly it. I'm like,
Nah. I'm like
I don't.
Jennifer Connelly in a leather apron hitting, the ingot.
Things.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
I
all
was going to say
sweaty from
something
the
incredibly
bellows.
inappropriate as well, because it'd be very difficult. No, that wouldn't be difficult. I guess you could. Yeah, never mind.
You
Go
got
ahead.
a romance card for that?
I don't even. Yes. Oh, there is a cute dwarven blacksmith in Witcher 3, but he had none of. He wanted nothing to do with me. Anyway, so point is, what you could do is like they were doing a good job with the one season. Do one season of Under the Dome, adapt it, and then do American Horror Story style.
Yeah.
And then do one season of
Like The Mist or
The
something.
Mist, right? And then do one season of Pet Cemetery, or do one
People
season
Under the Stairs.
People Under the Stairs. Like, sure, like hook up with Stephen King
Yeah.
and do one season adaptations in these different worlds with the same cast and everything. That's how you make it keep going. You don't try to stretch a second fucking season of Under the Dome because there's nothing to do.
Yeah. That poor guy in People Under the Stairs gets hit in the head a lot.
Well, he deserves it. He's a Republican.
Man, all I remember in that's honestly all I really remember from that film is that the guy in the gimp suit gets hit in the head a lot in that film.
Rewatching, because I watched it when I was like 12 when it came out, and it was fucking scary. And then I rewatched it as an adult, and the whole thing is just the least thinly veiled allegory for Reaganomics.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't.
It's
I remember
totally-
it being funny. Is really honestly, I remember
Yeah.
it being like almost like Evil Dead style funny.
It's the evil rich white people and the heroes, the poor black family. And it's all about gentrification
Sure,
and trickle
sure.
down and all. It's hilariously not hidden as an adult.
All right, I might have to watch that again because Beethoven did have Charles Grodin.
Yeah, woo!
I
I know my
was
Charles
wrong.
Grodin films.
Okay.
Sadly enough.
Poor man.
I feel I have lost respect for you.
What? Why have you lost respect for him?
Because he
for
knew
me?
that. No,
because
for
I
him.
didn't know that.
Charles Grodin was great, and then he quit film to do his talk show, and then he stopped doing his talk show even.
He's got credits for 2017 and 16.
Probably a couple little things. Like, is there a big gap in there?
The about one a year it looks like for
Yeah,
like
so it
random.
But for a while, he's doing a lot of stuff. You know, Midnight Run and whatnot.
and Clifford.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, there is a big gap there.
More
Holy
big
shit!
dog movies.
Big gap from '94 to 2006.
Yeah, 12-year gap there. I knew
Yeah.
I knew he stopped for a while.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Charles Grodin movie, David?
Is there anything good on the list? Because I have no idea.
Yeah,
who the dude
Beethoven.
is.
I heard in Clifford.
Is there anything that is not
So I married
not
an
a
axe
big?
murderer. So I married an axe murderer.
Oh, that movie has been a while.
Yeah.
Midnight Run is amazing.
Was he? Is Clifford the one where Martin Short played a little boy? What movie was that? That one? Because
Yes,
that
it
was a
was.
disturbing movie.
It was.
That was fucked up. And
That's
that's
why-
when he
that's why I
stopped.
said-
That's where the 12-year gap was after that, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that movie is it's wrong. It's so wrong. They could have. It was like when
Roberto Benigni played Pinocchio.
no comedian just died recently. Played it was Jack. He was Robin Williams. Jesus Christ, Andy. Yeah, Robin Williams played like a fifth grader.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but at least he played one that looked like Robin Williams. Like,
Sure.
that was Martin Short on his knees pretending to actually be a 10-year-old. Like, it wasn't a 10-year-old who was mutated to be Martin Short. It was him trying to pass as a 10-year-old.
That's true.
That's just creepy.
It wasn't his last movie before then. It was Clifford, and then It Runs in the Family, which I have no idea what that is.
There's been a couple movies called It Unto the Family. One of them was it's the sequel to Christmas Story, and he's the dad instead of
Oh, it is
Instead
the
of,
sequel.
what's
oh,
his
it's
face?
it's the like unofficial sequel.
No,
but I mean it's official sequel. But they had a Christmas Story too.
Oh, sure, that's fine. But this isn't a sequel to the movie A Christmas Story. This is an adaptation to the book that was the sequel to Christmas Story.
Okay.
Like, remember, the Christmas Story is based on a book.
Yeah.
And this movie is based on the second book, and it has stuff like the Gravy Boat incident, which I totally love, where his mom's part of some club that has to go to like these seminars or whatever, and then they get one piece of a china set for every seminar they go to. But due to some mix-up, instead of giving them a different piece, they're like, "Hey, we just got millions of gravy boats, so we're gonna give you a gravy boat every seminar. But then at the end of it, we'll have fixed it, and you can trade them all in for like the dishes and plates and stuff." And it turns out at the end that no, you just get a fuckload of gravy boats. And so the angry middle-aged women just start hurling gravy boats at this guy, and there's just this riot with gravy boats as missile weaponry.
Turns out it was probably originally called My Summer Story.
Sure.
But then it looks like they probably adapted it differently because all the photos for it are all
Alternate
posters
title.
of my summer story. Is Kieran Culkin who's in it?
Mm-hmm.
He's the less crazy Culkin.
Isn't it weird looking at him, knowing that he's the less crazy one?
He does look weird too.
David
and-
obviously
Christian
really into the
Culkin-
conversation of mid-90s film. He's on the edge of his seat. This is not really your bailiwick, apparently.
No, I'm not. I can't say I'm that much of a movie guy, really.
Oh, you bastard.
Well, no, I'm in that. I like good movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
we're
Clifford.
talking about Clifford. Yeah.
Or
God,
Runs
we
the
should-
Family.
You know what? I think David would be the perfect person to have on the movie Pain Trains.
Thing is, some of like Midnight Run is legitimately like a good film.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Speaking of weird 90s movies, says somebody in the chat, and then leaves me to be excited and
And
see
then
where they go with it.
Also, Midnight Run also had another person who cannot pronounce. Oh no, that's. I'm thinking of somebody different. I'm thinking of the other movie that was then too that had Nick Nolte in it.
Sure.
What movie was it that was around that time of Midnight,
Midnight
Run?
Run has De Niro in it.
Yeah.
De Niro and Grodin as a I won't say buddy film because they don't get along well.
No.
But you know that's
And
how
that's-
buddy films work.
48 Hours is the other one with Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy. It was kind of a very similar theme for that.
To Midnight Run.
Midnight Run was more of a, cop has to take guy to across country.
Right.
And I think 48 Hours was something similar to that.
Yeah, well, so in Midnight Run, he's just a prisoner, basically. You know that De Niro
Grodin.
had, or Grodin had. Right, he's just a prisoner. Whereas in 48 Hours, it's a work release thing where there actually are more officially partners because he's like an informant.
Yes.
So they're working together. Whereas Midnight Run is like a prisoner transport situation.
Holy fuck, that was 82.
Yep.
I thought that was later than that. I didn't realize that 48
No,
Hours
We're all
was
old.
82.
Death comes for us in the night.
Nah. Well, yeah, Nick Nolte also has the problem that he has. He cannot talk at all.
Nick
He can't-
Nolte. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, I want to see a debate between Nick Nolte and Jeff Bridges.
Yeah. I'm not. We could reenact that right now. Who do you want to be?
Assy McGee.
Oh,
It sounds about the same.
pretty much, yeah.
We saw Seventh Son. We gave money for that. Raylene slept through it. She was the wisest of us all.
Yeah.
Just her snoring in the movie theater.
The sad part about it is most of those movies that we saw for the Pain Trains when we were doing them, I don't remember.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
your brain protecting itself.
Suppressing traumatic memories.
Yeah, I do remember bad things though from some of them. We've talked about Dracula Untold enough, where I remember Dracula being able to blot out the sun with his powers because that's
That's a pretty
what
handy
Dracula
ability
does.
for Dracula to have.
Yeah, and also wife falling 400 feet from a tower onto jagged rocks and then able to hold a conversation afterwards
Yep. Yep.
in the middle of the sun where Dracula is. I mean, I remember actually liking I, Frankenstein as well.
Oh my God! Meet the Applegate, starring Ed Begley Jr. Somebody mentioned that in the chat, and I just Googled it, and I fucking forgot about this movie. It's from the director of Heathers. It's like your standard, like, Leave It to Beaver style 1950s family, but they're actually like giant insects in disguise.
Oh yeah,
Is it anything?
It's one of those super. No, it's not animated, but it's one of those like. Along with Freaked, it's one of those films that like Comedy Central would show at 2 a.m. when they had no other time filling to do. It's from the era when Comedy Central ran MST3K 5 times a day just because it ate up time and they couldn't afford programming. So they had shit like Freaked and Meet the Applegates.
yeah. That classic era of cable television when they would just have a clip of a stand-up comedian between shows because they couldn't sell advertising.
Yep. And Meet the Stupids, I assume, is what you're pulling up
Yeah,
over there,
that's what
Mandy.
I'm putting up right
Yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah.
Is Meet the Stupids.
Meet the Applegates is right up there with it. It's Meet the Stupids if they were insect people in disguise.
I have a love for Meet the Stupids. Have you seen the Meet the Stupids?
No, I haven't.
It is just barely self-aware enough that I kind of agree with Andy. But I can't promise that you'll agree because it is a fine line.
Yeah.
It is either the worst movie you have ever seen, or it's actually kind of brilliant. And I can't promise which way anyone will go on that.
His whole thing with Sender is probably one of
Yeah.
my favorite. Oh, he's running into his garage is like 2 wheels, 4 wheels, 8 wheels. They're trying to solve the mystery about why their trash keeps on disappearing.
Yep.
They put it out to the corner and they go out later and it's gone.
What the hell happened to it?
What happens to our trash?
And their envelope says return to sender. Who's sender? They have to find sender so they can return it to him. And so on. Yeah, it's a very dumb movie.
There's a fatal error in the B drive. Or the drive B.
Yeah. And he's just going to quote things to himself and laugh now.
Oh my god. Oh.
Aren't you glad you came?
No, I was going to say we broke Andy, except no, Andy did that to himself.
Yeah.
Self-inflicted breaking here.
Andy has a special spot in his soul for movies like Meet the Stupids.
I love Tom Arnold. I wish he was in more things.
Dude, Tom Arnold is like he's fucking amazing in True Lies.
He's the one that rode the coattails of Roseanne Barr into our lives, and I wish that people did give him shit for that because he's amazing.
I actually had seen him in a couple other like obscure things, like even some dramas where he's really good. But no, he might be my favorite part of True Lies. He's amazing in that. He's amazing in that.
Bill Paxton is great in that film too.
Everybody's great in that film.
Yeah. They tried to sell his car.
Oh, Bill Paxton.
Oh. We still have Bill Pullman, so we're good.
The inferior Bill. Like, Bill Pullman went on to make more Independence Day movies. Bill Paxton would have given us...
Was he in the second one?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I didn't
around with the fucking walker, and yeah, he's in it.
I did not see the second one at all. So you saw the Independence?
No, I just know he's in it.
Oh, okay. Dead Ant? All right.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to Happy
Happy looks amazing.
on Syfy.
Yeah.
I was happy.
It is. It's based on a graphic novel, but it's that. What's his name? The guy from Law and Order, Svu and Oz. Whatever. But it's this like
I'm distracted. Sorry. I'll look up Happy in a second.
grizzled ex-cop who's just like become like a contract killer, like alcoholic, like just gutter.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a near-death experience, and when he comes back, he can see an imaginary blue floating happy horse named Happy the Horse who sings and dances, and Happy is the imaginary friend of a girl who's been kidnapped. Mm-hmm. So Happy and this grizzled sociopath ex-detective need to find and rescue her.
Okay, that does sound interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
It's not actually listed on
he's a
IMDb
unicorn.
as Happy.
Isn't that Happy? I thought it was Happy.
Yeah, I think it's called Happy as well, but it's not.
Look up Law and Order SVU to get him.
If I look up Law and Order SVU, I'm going to get like a list of guest actors that have been on that
So
show.
but
everybody has been on Law and Order SVU.
He was one of the main characters. He wasn't like a one-time thing. So he was like the main character. Him and
I didn't include the exclamation point, so that's why.
Yeah, the exclamation point's part of it.
It is
Gornis, I'm disappointed.
Christopher Melini.
Look at that. When I look up on RSView, he's the third person on there.
Yeah, no.
Gornis, I'm disappointed that you have the second extra tentacle on the left there. It just doesn't fit with the rest of it.
That could be one behind that's sticking out.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah,
You'd have to
Christopher
argue
Meloni,
it.
he was in Oz as well. He was great in that.
Yes, he was good.
He's
in
on
Oz.
True Blood.
Oz is,
Wet
I
Hot
think,
American Summer.
Oz is one of those shows that kind of went off the rail as the seasons went on, but the first 3 seasons of that show is great. If you want to watch Schillinger and J.K. Simmons, he is amazing in Oz. He is. You think of him as happy-go-lucky now, but if you see him as Schillinger,
Who, J.K. Simmons?
well, I mean, basically,
Much better.
He's a cleaner type actor. I mean, you don't see him really playing really villainous roles. And
See,
as Schillinger, he is.
Problem
really,
is the most recent thing that I saw him in was Whiplash.
yeah.
And that's him at his most villainous.
don't know. He's not burning swastikas into people's butts.
That might be less horrific than he is in Whiplash,
In
in all
Whiplash? Okay.
honesty.
All right, I haven't seen Whiplash, then, so I will have to do that.
The accurate way, I don't know if you've heard this description of it, but it is the first half of Full Metal Jacket,
Okay.
but it's jazz school instead of boot camp.
Okay, yeah, I've heard that.
But
yeah.
he is that cool.
He's Ari Emery.
He is R.E.M. Yeah, but he's a jazz teacher instead of being a boot camp instructor. But he's that brutal, like physically abusing people and just breaking their souls until they have nervous breakdowns and abandon their dreams.
Is there a Vietnam movie after it? Where all the jazz musicians go to Vietnam?
Yeah.
Because that's a great 2-part movie. I mean,
It is.
It's a great 2 movies.
People hate on the second half of it because it's not the first half, but both halves are really good.
They're both. It's 2 movies in general. It's basically, it should be Full Metal Jacket 1 and 2, and that second part has got a lot of meaning behind it too.
It just gets overshadowed by the first half. True story.
So we should probably switch over to Zappity Grumbles. We've been, holy shit, we're an hour and a half.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or hour and
We
50
don't-
minutes into this. I did see somebody who was asking about the Packers. Unfortunately,
They're actually looking pretty good, in all honesty.
I went on a limb and I picked up their running back for my fantasy team, and he did well for me this week.
The quarterback, he did fairly for the first where he came in last game and his first start. Yes, he lost both games, or we lost both games, but he's looking good. You know what I mean? You're going to expect some learning period.
Yeah, especially when the starter goes down and you get the backup
Yeah.
and come in the middle of the game. Yes, he's going to have a terrible game. That's just how it works.
But the thing is, he still almost got 2 touchdowns before
Yeah.
the first half last game.
Yeah.
And the second one should have been. That was an easy pass that got dropped. And this game, if you look just at the first half, he was doing really well. And I worry because McCarthy's the worst coach in any sport ever. And so what I think happened was we were actually winning at halftime, and he went, wow, let's just stop doing everything and hope that they don't ever score, because instead of continuing to win, we'll just go into defense mode. Because McCarthy always fucking does that, and that's why we always lose to comebacks in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. No, I generally like McCarthy, but it is annoying that pattern goes on. It's like we're winning at halftime, so now we're going to play really conservatively in the second time.
Yeah.
And lose to a
And
fourth quarter.
lose to a fourth quarter.
Every fucking time. I also think that the first 2 plays of every game, McCarthy should challenge them so that he's out of challenges and can't fuck up his challenges anymore. Because if he doesn't have any, he can't fuck them up.
Well, the question actually was, do you feel the Packers can hover around 500 until Rodgers physically wills his collarbone back together? I think if the Packers actually end up in the playoffs, because he's on IR right now, so that means minimum he's out for is 8 weeks, I think it is, which is basically technically the end of the season. So it means if the Packers make it into the playoffs, I don't think they would even risk bringing in him because they've already established their game, and if they can actually get there with the current roster, there's no reason to bring it in for him to fuck it up.
I believe the current roster can finish this season at 500.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
No.
Yeah, there's 9 games left, I believe, for the Packers, and I think they can go 5-4. They can definitely go 4-5.
Yeah,
Of those
they're
9 games,
off
that would be a 500 season.
Next week, I think, is the bye week. So
But 9 games left, and honestly, the first half of the season was the hard half for the Packers. So it's 9 games that are decently easy, and given the performance so far these last 2 games, I think that they can end the season at 500. True
Zappity.
story.
Grumble. Zappity Grumble.
Yeah, I'm looking at Monsters in the chat.
Oh, okay.
He's got a long neck, that monster.
What is your favorite cheese, and how do you like plain, baked, or fried? Cheese.
Yeah, cheese. Any cheese
Is
is
this
good cheese.
is this person asking from Wisconsin?
I can.
Yeah, because that's relevant information, because you're asking Wisconsinites about cheese.
He's friend with Brian Kerr, so I assume
It's Wisconsin. Yeah.
Wisconsin,
I've been really...
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Well, they make cheese there too.
I will pronounce it wrong because it's French, so I will instead pronounce it the way that we as English people spell it. But Port Salute. is a good cheese. It's like halfway between Brie and Colby as far as it's soft but not super squishy soft like Brie, and it has the little bit of sourness, but it's still fairly mild. So that's one of my favorites. Cheddar, the older the better.
Yeah.
Like 30-year-old cheddar was a religious experience when I got my hands on some of that, and it was like $100 a pound. But cheddar, the older the better. And I've been on a big blue cheese kick as well.
I love Bella Vitano, one of the local cheesemakers that actually won the World Cheese Championships fairly recently. Especially their Chipotle cheese is really damn good.
Are you a blue cheese liker at all?
Yes, I like blue cheese. It's not one of my.
Hook is a local dairy. Hooks, they have one that it's a three breed cheese because it's cow, goat, and sheep's milk.
Oh, cream, yeah.
And the title is a pun. It's "You calf to be kidding me," and it is that specific blue cheese is in my top 3 cheeses I've ever eaten.
I will
so
give that a try.
Look for that. I think they have it at Woodman's occasionally. Otherwise, Hooks always has it at the farmer's market. But if you can get that specific flavor of cheese, it is amazing. Jeremy Shea and I ate just a pound of it with no crackers or anything one time. We bought it at the farmer's market, and we were going back to play board games, and he and I just, with our hands and no crackers, just broke off chunks and just shoved it in our faces and ate the whole block in like an hour.
Oh, that sounds great. But yeah, I also like, although I like 5-year cheddars because I've had the getting the older stuff. I like the moderately aged stuff better than the older stuff. But I do like aged cheddars, and Gruyere, a proper aged Gruyere I love.
Yeah.
I like Munster. I like my Munster cheese. I like pepper jack.
Also, I hate Munster. It's like boring.
Oh.
Yeah, if you just a simple cracker cheese. I mean, I
haven't.
I'm not going to badmouth any cheese. I will eat any cheese.
This is how Wisconsin works.
Everyone else is like got all these big words.
Have a sophisticated opinion about cheese now. Go.
I like Munster.
Sorry.
I mean, I guess I haven't really opened my cheese doors enough to experience new things with cheese. I should go down with the farmers market. I need to make arrangements with some people to go down there because I need somebody to show me around. And
You want to go on Saturday?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Wait, Nope. Yeah, I'm free on Saturday.
Hooray! Farmers market on Saturday.
Yeah. Sweet. That means I have to get up early. Oh no.
Early-ish. They're open until 1:30. Although
Yeah,
if
we
we're
wanna
going to
get
do
down there
Mega
early.
Civilization, we need to go in the morning so that we can be done before,
Yeah, I'm not invited to this mega civilization.
You were in the chat for
Yeah,
it.
we're in
that's
the chat.
still. I didn't know that.
I haven't
was
touched
still
that
going.
chat.
hasn't
It's
been-
somewhere in my log. That's. It's not like I've been going behind your back.
Shit, I'm doing something Saturday.
You don't have
Nathan,
to.
I can't go with you. I'm doing civilization.
You can't do something with me because you're doing something with me later.
Yes.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I can't spend the whole day with you. God.
You're my second wife.
Pretty much, I guess. Aw, Yay. This day and age. Yay. All right, Zappy.
Hetero life, mate.
Well, yeah, I do see you every Sunday. That's my times, That's my shared.
Yes, that's the custody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not really custody, though.
No, Andy, it is.
No.
You have me on weekends. Raylene watches me most of the time, but you have weekends.
Oh, God. All right, so what is the most stereotypical Wisconsin thing you've ever done outside of drinking beer and being a Packers fan?
Had a conversation about cheese.
We just had a serious conversation about cheese on our War Machine podcast.
Yeah.
It doesn't get much
Immediately
more Wisconsin.
after discussing the Packers.
Yeah. No. Although I think I can do better because on my birthday this year I celebrated by drinking a spotted cow while ordering deep fried cheese and a cheese sauce to dip my deep fried cheese in. And there was not a Packers game on because I was doing this on my birthday.
Yeah.
But that was very close to peak Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean, drinking old fashions while eating cheese curds and watching a Packers game.
Yeah. Dipping cheese in other cheese is really.
Drinking old fashions while ice fishing.
You would have to do, or at a supper club.
Yeah, or supper club. Yeah.
I did see a headline for like the most Wisconsin thing, which was 2 people got in a car accident with each other, and it was like their 5th and 8th DUIs. It's like, Wisconsin. One of those people is up to a misdemeanor at this point. I'm not proud of that aspect of Wisconsin. If you get 8 or 9 DUIs, we might take your license away for a year.
Yeah, don't do that there now, hey.
Hey, there now. Hey, you cut that out there now.
Also, if there are non-Wisconsinites listening, I am a transplant to Wisconsin, and I love it here. It's great.
We're honestly just, we're kind of southernish, but just colder.
Well, Madison's a very liberal pocket in Wisconsin. In general, it's very farm country and stuff, and so you get that same southern small town aspect of being a farm area.
Well, that happens just about everywhere. I mean, the cities are one thing, and then it turns to Alabama really damn quickly.
Yes.
Well, Madison is... I grew up in a small town. I grew up in a town that was 5,000 people.
Yeah.
That's I spent 18 years of my life in that type of place. Moving to Madison, it still feels like a small town, even though it has 250,000 people in
Madison's a good balance of small town, big city. I really like the sweet spot Madison's hit.
Yeah.
But no, it's the
I love Madison.
One of Raylene's cousins died earlier in the year. We went up to the funeral, and it's in a little 50-person town, up north.
It's got a lamp. It has a light, and then houses. Or no, hold on, bars and churches surrounded it, and then houses surrounded it.
Correct. And along the turning to Alabama real fast, the funeral, one of the friends in honor of the departed was flying 2 stars and bars out the back of their pickup truck as they drove up and down the main street of town because, of course, because it's Alabama out there.
North Pride?
Yeehaw! I guess once you're a farmer, you're southern no matter where you live. I got nothing. But it was very surreal. I'm like, I think we're technically north of parts of Canada where we are right now.
Have you seen this map? This is bars. This is the relationship of bars and grocery stores in the country.
Yeah.
That the brown areas have more bars and the green areas have more grocery
Wisconsin
stores. And I love it. You can see the borders to Wisconsin.
Oh yeah, you could easily put it.
2.7 times more bars than grocery stores.
Yes,
there it is. You can see that big brown mass.
Yeah, the big brown mass in there, that is Wisconsin.
you can
Although,
borders, it's amazing.
Fuck that noise, because that's why I can't buy alcohol in the grocery store after 9 o'clock, because the big bar cartel got the laws passed where if I want to be drunk after 9 o'clock, I have to go pay for a $5 beer.
So the best part about visitors to Wisconsin is they know outside Wisconsin, they know we're a big drinking state. And then they get here and they're like, you can't buy alcohol after 9 p.m.?
Oh, you got to stock up.
Yeah, you got to...
Or you go to the bar. Or there's that one liquor store on the east side.
What?
Do you know about that?
No.
There's one liquor store that when they rezoned like Madison with... God, fuck, I can't remember the name of the town, but it's now like the name of the liquor store so that you remember why this is. That 20-yard by 20-yard lot where the store is technically is still part of the other city, so its city ordinances don't... It can sell alcohol till midnight.
Okay.
Just this one liquor store on the east side is special.
Is it just surrounded by cops waiting for you to enter into the other city limits?
Well, you can buy it there.
Okay.
And then you can walk around
sure.
Madison with a grocery bag, because if I buy alcohol at $8.59 at Cops, I can walk home with it.
That's true.
Yeah, but it's this. If you really need to buy booze after 9 o'clock in Madison, you just drive to the east side and go to that one town or that one liquor store.
What we need to do is actually start drinking on the podcast some more too. We need to have a drunk cast of some sort.
I was thinking about doing the entire Minions faction like I did for Convergence that one time, and getting plastered during
I can make margaritas. I can get you all drunk very well doing that.
Oh, again, this is Wisconsin. We don't.
I'll
we don't
just
really
do
need
old fashions. Because the nice thing about when I'm lazy and don't want to muddle, I have the old fashioned mix, and it's 1 part mix to 2 parts brandy. And the cool thing about ingredient lists like that is that part can be any amount. So I usually do like
a fifth and
cup.
2 bottles of it.
yeah. I do because I have a 2-cup measuring thing.
Yeah.
So I do 2/3 cups and then a cup and a third, and that's the easy way to do it. You do 2/3 cup of mix and then fill it with brandy, and that's Friday night at Nate's house. Turns out that's 8 old fashions.
All right. Well, I guess that's, as far as I can tell, that was it for Zappity Grumbles. We can go into... nope, there's a lot of people cheering us to drink live on air.
Well, or what? Yeah, no, just one guy cheering very loudly.
That's true. All right, so we go into recommendations. You guys have anything? You were having fun with your Witcher series.
Witcher 3 is good. Witcher 3, definitely, absolutely. But I am actually going to say to watch, and you said you're not a big film guy, so that's fine. But anything, for the love of God, if you have not seen it, or if it's been a while since you've seen it, go watch anything by Akira Kurosawa. It is art. It is cinema, specifically Seven Samurai. Seven Samurai, Yojimbo, Rashomon, Ran, anything by Akira Kurosawa will show you what true masterful filmmaking can be.
So,
it is astounding.
In a sense, you basically want to go look up Quentin Tarantino's favorite movies.
Sure.
and then you pretty much got that entire thing.
Rashomon is one of the ones that I think people talk about, but casual cinema goers don't see it often enough. It's not like Seven Samurai, where it's the big one. Rashomon does the thing, and this is something that Tarantino's obviously a big fan of, where Rashomon, there's something happened. And the story of what happened is told to you by a character, one of the characters that was involved. And then the story is told to you again by a different character, who of course has a slightly different play on what happened, because they no, you told that wrong. In reality, this is what happened. And then it's told again by a third character, and they tell the story with these different viewpoints. And at the end, you don't know who's right. You don't know really for sure what, because they never do the but here's what really happened. You just see the three people's viewpoints, and somewhere in there might be the truth. And the film just allows it to be there, and it's just so amazing.
Does one of the characters in the retelling of the story slowly turn into an ostrich?
Yes, actually, yes, she does. That's actually a reference to Rashomon by Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's how smart they are. But yeah, and Seven Samurai, and so fucking good.
Somebody was asking about if we were going to play some Monster Hunter World next year. I never played Monster Hunter.
I have no idea what that is.
It's kind of
the video game Monster Hunter?
But it looks like there's a new game that's coming out in 2018. I've never played it, so I've...
But tie in, and then I'll finish my recommendation. If you take me up and you watch anything by Akira Kurosawa, odds are you're going to watch something that has Toshiro Mifune in it. Main character from Yojimbo and whatnot. He's one of the Seven Samurai. Watch it, and then realize that he was the actor who was originally going to play Obi-Wan Kenobi. And think about how different Star Wars would have been with that badass guy in it.
Yep.
And that's my recommendation.
I will recommend Divinity Original Sin 2. It's just a really good game, especially like if you like the Baldur's Gate style of RPG. And it does have multiplayer, which is actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's like what kind of what style of thing? Tell more about game thing.
Oh, yes, game thing. I mean, it's an overhead, it's a Western-style role-playing game. It is not based off of D&D, but it's that general style of systems, but it's not based off of D&D, and it's just a
so it's very like not Baldur's Gate, Neverwinter Nights style. Yeah.
It's it's real time until you get into combat. It's turn-based combat, and the multiplayer actually works really well for it, because if one guy, you can have people running around in the same world, and there's no real limitation on where they can be. And if somebody gets into combat, other players aren't stuck in turn-based mode until they get involved in that combat as well. So it's just really well done and fun.
So you can just run circles around the guy that's in turn-based mode.
Yeah. As long as you're not, as long as you don't get seen by somebody in the combat.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, I'm playing with a friend and had combat start after the other guy had already started, and I was sneaking around behind to line up backstabs. And also the animation for sneaking is great because you turn into a bush or a rock or a barrel.
Just a box.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't seen a box yet, but lots of the rock formation is liked in a lot of places. Like
Just a bush.
When I was sneaking through a cathedral and was
Just some rock.
a rock walking down the hall of a cathedral.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Of course it's just some rocks. That's how it works. And Andy's recommendation is don't come to his house and ring the doorbell in the middle of a podcast.
Yep.
I'm going to stand by that as being his recommendation.
Yep, that sounds good.
He probably has nothing more useful to offer.
I recommend Popeye's biscuits, I suppose.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah.
I'd recommend Andy teach me how to press stop on any of this stuff. Because there's people watching me.
Yes.
Like, he can edit all this stuff out of the audio, but, like, these assholes are watching us. And I could just start, like, playing on my phone and just bore them. But that's just weird.
We could just leave.
You could just leave. We could both just leave. I can just start slowly stripping. They would leave.
Yeah.
Ooh, you can play a Lizard Man skeleton in Divinity 2?
Yes.
Well,
Also, Also, in Divinity has weird conceptions of races. Like all of your elves are cannibals,
well,
and they learn memories of creatures by eating their body parts, and you can get new skills this way. And there are lizard men that are the cultured, sophisticated, noble race.
obviously.
Yeah.
Are they cannibals in that they eat elves, or just that they eat other humanoids?
They eat other humanoids.
Yeah. So.
And elves too, and then eat anything.
Yeah, well, sure. I mean, if you want that sweet, sweet elf knowledge.
Yeah.
And as long as you can be, if you can be skeleton of all the races and both genders, I hope.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to be a lady skelly man, so I have the wider hips for childbirthing.
Mm-hmm. And it's also if you play the undead, healing spells hurt you, but poison heals you. And so you can have undead and then mages that specialize in poison magic and just throw poison everywhere, and your own do is just walk in it and heal.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, playing as a skelly man is always the best. Andy's still not back. That's rude of him. I don't know who he's talking to. You can talk about cheese some more.
Yeah. So what other types of cheese do you like?
That's the thing. It's pretty much. I finally I felt it had to be on my bucket list. I was in the cheesery, and I was looking at varieties, and Limburger was sitting there staring at me.
I've never had Limburger.
And I had never had a Limburger. I'm like, you know what? I need to be an open-minded person. I need to try it at least once, right? I'm obligated to give it a shot. So we bought it, and what's interesting is actually instead of having like an expiration date on it, on the side of it, it actually said, here's when we put it in the package. 3 months from then, it'll be stinky. 3 months from that, and they actually had it as like amateur, normal, and expert mode, and that's how they labeled it. Was amateur was 3 months, normal was 6 months, and expert was like 9 months after the packaging date. And I tried it at all 3 points, and it was horrific at all 3 points. Yeah, it was.
I would
not
try most
good.
cheese except that Austrian maggot cheese.
I don't know anything about that.
I
Can you
wish
milk
I
a
did.
maggot?
Huh?
You can milk maggots?
It's cheese that they put maggots in.
Why?
I don't know.
Is it like the candy with scorpions in it? Like, are they dead maggots they
No.
put in there? The maggots live in the cheese?
Yes.
Like, are they supposed to, like, eat and poop and make good poop cheese?
I don't understand how this works. I've seen videos of people eating it. I'm like, nope, I'm not going to do that.
I don't understand the purpose. At least,
Why
like,
is this the conversation when I get
At
back?
least the cat poop coffee, I understand the logistics behind the coffee poop, you know?
Yeah.
Well, you don't digest the seeds, but it adds flavor, I guess.
Right, I get that. I get.
Yeah.
What are the maggots doing for the cheese?
Ah,
Anyway, Andy, make a recommendation and then press stop. I don't know how to press stop, so we had to stall.
yeah, I'm sorry.
I put in
My recommendation is don't answer your door after 8 p.m. on a Sunday. I had some guy that was trying to sell me on lawn care.
Lawn care?
Lawn care.
Okay.
It was like,
Okay.
yeah. He's telling me he has a lawn. He has a lawnmower that it can cut the lawn and it could suck up everything that it's cutting. I'm like, oh, thank you for telling me that.
Sorry, Sardinian, not Austrian. I misread.
Yeah, no, I found it. What?
All right, I'm going to change the subject.
No,
real
no,
quick
no,
here.
I'm going to read this real quick. This
No,
needs to be heard, Andy.
Yes, it does.
I want to eat a
Derived from
snack.
pecorino, Casomorzu goes above and beyond typical fermentation to a stage of decomposition, brought about by the digestive action of the larvae of the cheese fly Pyophilia cassii. These larvae are deliberately introduced to the cheese, promoting an advanced state level of fermentation and breaking down of the cheese's fats. The texture of the cheese becomes very soft with some liquid called lagrima, Sardinian for teardrop, seeping out. The larvae themselves appear as a translucent white worms about 8 millimeters long. When disturbed, the larvae can launch themselves for distances of up to 15 centimeters. Some people clear the larvae from the cheese before consuming, while others do not. They fucking jump at you! Why? Ooh, there's a section about legality. There's actually a section about legality of the cheese.
Oh.
Because it's unhygienic, so it was outlawed. The legal status of
course you got-
Marzu in the EU remains questionable.
It's got fucking maggots in it.
Yeah, it's rotten.
God.
A cooperation between sheep farmers and researchers of the University of Sassari developed a hygienic method of production, aiming to allow the legal selling of the cheese.
Oh. How'd you hear about Was this in chat? Did someone mention it? Or is it
No.
something
David
you-
apparently just knows about this.
Oh.
This was a horrible thing I was aware of. I am
All right.
aware of many horrible things. This just happened to be one of them related to cheese.
This is why I don't leave you alone in the
It
podcast
is considered
anymore.
to be unsafe to eat when the maggots in the cheese have died, which makes sense. If the cheese has killed them, you don't want to eat the cheese.
Correct.
Because of this, only cheese in which the maggots are still alive is usually eaten, although allowances are made for cheese that has been refrigerated, if that's what kills the maggots. Because the cheese didn't do it, the cold did. No!
No, it's definitely no.
Because the larvae of the cheese can launch themselves for distances of up to 15 centimeters when disturbed, diners hold their hands above the open-faced sandwiches to prevent them from leaping. Some who eat the cheese prefer not to ingest the maggots. Those who do not wish to do so place the cheese in a sealed paper bag. The maggots, starved for oxygen, writhe and jump in the bag, creating a pitter-patter sound. When the sounds subside, the maggots are dead and the cheese can be eaten. Alternately, don't fucking eat this shit! What?
There was way too much effort there for people eating maggot-infested cheese when it's like you can just go down and buy non-maggot infested cheese.
What it is, this is like all those other weird fucking
Lutefisk.
right. So what it is once upon a time, these people were starving to death, and their last wheel of cheese had been infested by cheese fly larvae, and they dug it out of the garbage and ate it in desperation. And now it's a
Delicacy.
Delicacy. That's the word I'm looking for. It's the same reason people eat, fish
Lutefisk.
testicles and rancid,
Let's go bury the fish in the yard,
Yeah.
and then we'll dig it up 6 months from now and eat it.
Oh, there's this poisonous Icelandic shark that if you let it rot for a year, it becomes slightly less poisonous. Sure,
Yeah, what is the fish in Japan?
Fugu.
Yeah,
the blowfish.
Yeah, the
Pufferfish,
blowfish. Yeah, pufferfish. Yeah. Let's like, who decided that one day, like, oh, if I cut it just this way, that it won't kill me.
Someone who was starving to death and desperate. But the point is, right now, we don't have to eat cheese fly infested cheese.
Correct.
Because we have better cheese. So stop doing it.
Somebody did mention one last zappity grumble is favorite villain in a movie series. We should just start that with our next podcast.
Yeah, that requires
Series.
more thought. Yeah,
Yeah.
serious.
David, I will add you to the Crippled System podcast group. And so
I'm going with
get
Kylo
notifications.
Ren off the top of my head.
Kylo Ren?
Kylo Ren is the most interesting and deep character in the entire Star Wars mythos. He is underappreciated.
Yeah.
He's an amazing fucking character.
I really like the Kylo Ren character.
I'm excited to see where he goes in the next films.
Who's the bad guy in Tango and Cash?
I think it was Tango.
No, I actually I like the
Cash.
villain in
Harley Davidson, the Marlboro Man.
no, the villain that was in Lethal Weapon 2. The guy who was hiding behind his diplomatic immunity the entire time.
Sure.
But he's not my favorite. But we should I'll post that into our chat, and then we'll make it our subject for our next podcast.
Yeah.
That's something that we should think about doing, is actually making subjects for our podcast,
Fuck
so we
you.
have an idea of what
No.
we're going to talk about.
You know what else
Eat
we could
my
do?
balls.
And
We
the
could talk about
podcast?
War Machine.
No,
We can talk about War Machine.
we could.
Next week we'll talk about movie villains and then a shitload of War Machine.
Okay.
Yeah. Next week's War
Yeah.
Machine talk. We made David listen to 1990s Charles Grodin film for like an hour and a half.
Well, no, the proper thing is he needs to see them and then
Sure.
and watch Weekend at Bernie's.
He had
I've
to
seen
listen
Weekend
to
at
us talk
Bernie's.
about
Have you seen
Charles
Weekend at Bernie's
Grodin.
too?
No.
All right, so we need
Nobody's
to see
seen
that.
Weekend at
I've
Bernie's.
I've seen it. It's so good.
You don't remember
You
it.
don't
I do. I remember it
Point
mostly.
is, we owe him at least an hour of War Machine talk.
At least.
Yeah.
Well, next week we're going to be talking about some Company Iron, so we're going to at least play some Company Iron
see?
this week.
See?
So, but
Look at
that's
that.
not War Machine. That's Company of Iron.
Fuck you.
Why you?
I want to go home. I'm cold and there are wolves after me.